a 100% great following. I'm not saying followers, I'm saying followings, because I believe in them. I believe each and every person who comes on here, it's a teaching moment for you. Okay. I take it as a teaching moment. Oh, you almost didn't get your paycheck. Um, I see it as a teaching moment for each and every person who comes on here. And I know we're not the greatest teachers on earth, but we try to do our best we can. Um, I love to talk about, sorry, Miss Dixon, Mr. Turner, Miss Battles, all you guys that come on, Miss Thomas, all you guys who come out here and literally, learn from the information we give. Miss Gibson, Miss Colson, we have Mr. Porter on our team, um, Mr. Scott, Mr. Brown. Who else do we have out there that I can think of? Miss Agnes, you guys, Miss Agnes hasn't been on here in a while. Um, and she's doing fine. The last time I spoke to her, um, it's a lot went on with their services, their phone service. People were hacking them and stuff, so she kind of laid back a little bit off of coming on here because she didn't want anything to happen. So but I try to talk to her as much as I can. I hate that all that happened to them because she's very instrumental to this whole uh family that we have created here. Um so yeah, I tried to call her today, but I couldn't get a hold to her. She didn't answer her phone. So I can try again tomorrow. I'm gonna try to make sure I call her to check on her as much as possible. Now that we can't, always get her on. She was on one time. And look, the day that she was on, the lights went out. That's when. That was so weird. The night that she came on, the lights went out. So me and her had a conversation off air. And then it got close to her time to take her medicine, so she had to go. Um, but yes, I know she's in the hearts and minds of all of us that are very close to her. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get the show started. Now, before we do that, let me do some housekeeping. Um, or let me give you some updates on some stuff that I'm doing on my end. Um, I'm quite sure Tavares is going to let you know what's going on with him. So now that we're in another month, my dates have changed for my Talk Shop Live. We're now coming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on my Talk Shop Live. Okay. Um, and you guys, the ones who are subscribed to my Substack, which I'm encouraging all of you guys to subscribe to my Substack. We're now only on Tuesdays and Fridays. I might kick a day in if I'm thinking about something. I want to get something out to you guys. But from here, which really, 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 you guys, frees up a lot of time for me to do other things. So that's going to be on Tuesdays and Fridays that I'll be posting on my Substack from here on out, unless I need to definitely share some stuff with you. Um, as you know, we do this show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If we skip a day or two, it's probably mainly because of a holiday or one of us are not feeling well or an appointment or something is going on with us personally. So we will skip a day here on the Kevin B. Frank Show. We're entitled to that. Um, in the meantime, we're going to continue doing what we do, raising hell, raising our voices, talking about shit that's going on in our city, in the city of Alexandria, our city, because it's our city. It's where our Black folks live. It's our city. So I'm claiming it. And we're going to continue trying to inform you guys so you guys have a heads up on what's going on. Because I know you guys don't always get that information right off the bat. So, and then we put our little flavor in there. Okay. We put a little bit of our flavor in there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna switch it over to Mr. 10 and let him go ahead and get his stuff out. What you gotta say, Mr. Tim?
No, it's all good. Go ahead.
Mr. Tim, we're not gonna do this tonight because you won't get paid if you don't participate. And I hope you understand that.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. See, sometimes you got to handle up on y'all. Don't be afraid to handle up on him. Now, I know he said earlier that he wanted to address something. Me and him had a conversation, and he was talking about addressing the situation with what happened between Miss Linda Bell and I think that's a great idea. So we're going to talk about the Voters' Right Act and what it says and what it states in it, because we didn't go deep into it when we looked it up the other night. So I think tonight we're going to do that. Hold up. Give me 1 second, you guys. Hold up. Okay. So we're going to talk about the Voters' Right Act. That's going to be the first thing we're going to talk about, the history of it, because I think that needs to be talked about. Because we need to, and this is not to slight anybody about anything. Okay, I want you to get that understood, that this is not about slighting anybody or trying to prove anybody wrong, but this is what happens with our history when it's even told, by us. Okay? Even when it's told by us, sometimes that information is not dispensed correctly. Okay? One of the comments that Mr. Goins made was the idea that it was not political, which we know doesn't even sound right. The whole purpose for the Voters' Right Act was so that we'd have the same privileges to vote for our political party or our political candidate. So it is definitely 100% political. It can't be any other way. And that's the crazy part about how that comment was made. And it should have never been made in that way without actually knowing basically what you were talking about. And you, being an African American Black man, should have never, ever said that. Okay? Should have never said something so crazy as that is not political. Okay? So give me a second here. Let's see here.
Are you aware of what happened a couple hours ago?
No, sir, I am not aware of that. What happened a couple of hours ago?
The mayor is having 2 back-to-back briefings on the 8th and the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So you know about that?
No, I didn't know that. No.
Okay. Both sessions will focus on redistricting and the legal standards tied to the map debate, including the Voting Rights Act requirements. Public comment is restricted and must be requested ahead of time.
Ooh, that's voters. That's the First Amendment.
Well, no, it's his meeting, so he gets to pick what the rules are.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's definitely need to be talked about. Okay, sounds good.
They said this meeting comes only days after the city council voted to restore the other maps. Yeah.
And let me tell you why. Let me tell you what spurred this on. because of Texas. They passed the Supreme Court.
No, that's got
okay.
That's not.
Okay, all right.
This is all about him continuing on what Jonathan Goins said, and how Jonathan Goins felt so comfortable cursing out people who were simply just there to do their civic duty to speak on the matter. Mm-hmm. And he got up there and he yelled like a goddamn petulant little child. And so when that didn't go over well, because it didn't, now Jock has to come in because he never expected it to pass, is the problem.
Okay. You can say that, Tavares. That could be some of it. But
this was all being done before Texas was even thought about.
Okay.
So I wouldn't know how Texas is related to this.
The reason why I'm saying Texas related to it, just give me a second. Let me explain real quick. Okay. The reason why I'm saying that it's going to him jumping up and doing this is because it passed where they could gerrymander those districts in Texas through the Supreme Court. That's why this is happening too. So I know it happened way before that happened, but this is giving him fuel to do what they did, to legally do what they did, because it was able to pass in Texas. So yes, it has a lot to do with that, baby, because that's the whole point of what they're doing across the United States. It's gerrymandering areas so political places and political seats can be held by the Republicans. I understand this happened prior to the Texas gerrymandering, but it gave them a green light to do it.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Are we talking about the same Texas? Because
okay, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do your research on that. The district that Jasmine Crockett was in, those districts that she fought, I think is District 30 and a couple more. They just gerrymandered it. They just gave them the right. At first, they put it on a hold. They let it go, and they allowed them and approved the gerrymandering of those districts all the way. Now, you can look it up for yourself. I could be wrong. I read all day. So I'm just saying, look it up yourself if you don't believe me. Okay? This fueled this fire that's going on here. Okay? I'm going to leave it like that. I could be wrong, but that's my assumption. Because y'all got to understand what Jock is doing too. This is all about power grab. He needs Felter in that seat for next year. So when he runs, he's guaranteeing her, since he's trying to get those maps back to the 2024 maps, okay, with all this stuff going on, he needs his flunky sitting in that seat for District 4. Because if you don't know it, he is in District 4. He lives in District 4. So if you don't think he has influence and power in District 4, you're sadly mistaken. He needs somebody that he can get votes through for the stuff that he's doing to the city of Alexandria that you guys have allowed him to do for the last 16, almost 20 years. He needs his people in place. So let's keep that in mind. He needs his people in place. He's not stupid. So for the ignorance, and I'm going to say it again, I'm not calling him stupid, but the ignorance of Jonathan Goy being his lapdog, making that stupid statement about the Voters' Right Act not being political, it was ignorant. The statement was stupid and he acted ignorant when he replied to that, when he made the statement he made. So let's stop playing the games. Let's stop playing with the people. Like I said that night when I spoke up, enough. Enough. This is all so that cronyism can continue going on. So all these deals that he does, all this stuff that he does, he has to have that city council under his thumb. He has to, in order to keep this stuff going. But it's up to the people come 2026 to get his tail out that office and get somebody in there who's going to really bring Alexandria where it needs to be, into the 21st. We almost going to 22nd century. All these handing over stuff and taking care of people and this nepotism and not having the education or the experience to do some of these jobs, it has to stop. This stranglehold they have on a predominantly Black city has to stop. This sellout of these Black quote unquote politicians that sit there and shake hands and smile and sit on his lap has got to stop. If you don't want to stop, then it needs to be put out in the forefront. No longer running behind nobody and doing your little conversations. Put it out in the front. If you guys see something that's not right, talk about it. You have a right to talk about it. We've been lied to on a national scale, and then we get lied to on the local scale. When is it going to stop? Educate yourself, you people. Educate yourself. You deserve it. When I say educate, I'm not just saying read about it. I'm saying research about it. I'm saying understand it, comprehend it. Because one thing they can't take away from you is what you've learned by your own means. And you can't allow them to indoctrinate you. This man has never, as long as y'all keep putting him in there, he has never brought Alexandria into where it should be. Alexandria should be a booming industry. The only thing they keep bringing here is restaurants because that's how they believe in you. That's how they think you're going to. And majority of the time, these restaurants are not even owned by y'all. It's owned by somebody else from somewhere else. It's not even homegrown. You wonder why we have obesity like it is here. Because all we do is sit up and eat. Because all we get here is restaurants. Like we're getting a new restaurant now. Another one. Restaurants. Ain't nobody breaking their neck coming to Alexandria. Aren't you tired of servicing everybody? Because that's what Alexandria is. That's all they keep making deals with. People with services. Keeping you in washing clothes in hotels. And feeding other people. You can't even afford a living wage to feed your own family, but they want you to work and feed everybody else. Because that's all they're bringing here is restaurants. And it's amazing how some of the people that don't look like us, they glad to see a restaurant to come. Because most of the time they can afford to go to them. Not making a living wage doesn't give us that same privilege. So keep that in mind. And this is all we're trying to do. This is all we're trying to do. Is to get you to open up your eyes and let 2026 come in and get Jacques Roy out of that seat and get somebody in there that's not connected to him. How about we do that? Somebody who does not know him personally, other than the works and the destructions he's done with Alexandria. And come in and fix it. It's possible. Now, I'm sorry, I had to get off that soapbox. So, what is the Voting Rights Act of 1964? Regarded as a legislative crown jewel of the civil rights era, the Voters' Rights Act was enacted as a comprehensive tool meant to undo the political. Okay. Did I say that word or was that word? To undo the political hold of Jim Crow policies in the South and related discriminatory structures nationwide. Let me say that again. It was enacted as a comprehensive tool meant to undo the political hold of Jim Crow policies in the South and related discriminatory structures nationwide. Congress adopted the law to ensure that states followed the 15 amendments guaranteed that the right to vote not to be denied because of race. The law fundamentally opened political opportunities for Black and Brown communities to participate in all aspects of the political. I'm slapping myself in the mouth. Political system on an equal basis. Section 5 of the law requires jurisdictions with a history of discrimination to obtain approval from the Department of Justice or a court before changing vote rules, a process known as pre-clearance. Section 2 of the law allows people to sue, either on their own behalf or with assistance of the Justice Department. Now, Section 2 is the only part left that they have not messed with in the Voters' Right Act. Every year, every time you turn around, they were chopping and pulling it away. Right? To undo existing laws and procedures that would deny equal political opportunities to voters to elect their candidates of choice. However, these protections have been eroded by recent Supreme Court decisions. Okay? Why was the Voting Rights Act enacted? A nonviolent campaign in March 1965 by voting rights marchers in Alabama culminated in a televised, brutal attack by state police on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. The outrage over this incident prompted immediate national action in Congress, spurred by President Lyndon Johnson. The law was a more fulsome response to their prior inadequate efforts to assure that states registered citizens and allow them to vote regardless of race. Despite multiple court orders, including from the Supreme Court, several states created rules that denied or limited opportunities to vote for Black citizens, such as poll tax and literacy tests. That was one of the parts he was talking about. He forgot that it was political, right? These schemes effectively undermined or eliminated the political, again, power of Black communities, even where they were a majority of the population. Alexandria, Louisiana. What are the effects of Voting Rights Act? The law has been a hugely successful shield against schemes that limit or dilute the voting power of communities with a history of being marginalized. Alexandria, Louisiana, districts 2, 3, and districts 1, 2, and 3. I'm just putting that out there. This protection has been especially helpful in processes like redistricting. Wait a minute. This protection has been especially helpful in processes like what? Redistricting? Oh my God, no. Which has led to the election of 100 of federal, state, and local candidates of color in states with a history of discrimination. Oh my, no. Hold up. In the years after the Voting Rights Act's passage, the disparity in registration rates between white and black voters, rates dropped from nearly 30% points in the early 1960s to 8% points just a decade ago. Later. Based on this success, the Voters' Rights Act was reauthorized multiple times. In 2006, the reauthorization passed both chambers of Congress with wide bipartisan support, passing unanimously in the Senate. How has the Supreme Court changed the Voters' Rights Act? Good question. The Voters' Rights Act has been a constant target of conservatives on the Supreme Court since its enactment. Wow. While the law has been renewed multiple times, the court's decision in recent years have often worked to limit its application. Wow. Of greatest concern is the 2013 case, Shelby County versus Holder, which effectively eliminated the use of preclearance. See what I'm saying? Following decision, the states that no longer had to get federal approval of new voting rules unleashed a wave of policies that made it harder to vote. Do you see what they just took off in 2013? That preclearance we talked about earlier? And Brennan Center research has shown that the racial gap in voter turnout has grown in jurisdictions previously covered by Section 5. Now, how did that happen? In the absence of preclearance requirements, civil rights groups have needed to rely more on litigation under Section 2. That's why you took it to court. You took it to court to make a decision to combat discrimination in the political system. There's that word political again. But lawsuits to undo these unfair rules are both costly and takes years. Not in the state of Louisiana, during which elections continue. And in its 2021 ruling in Brnovich versus the Democratic National Committee, the Supreme Court made it harder to bring lawsuits under Section 2. Do you see? That's the last bit of the Voters' Rights Act that they're trying to dismantle. What are the prospects for the Voters' Rights Act future? Despite declining yet another invitation apart from the precedent to erode the law further in the recent case of Allen versus Milligan, the Supreme Court's current majority has been quite clear in its hostility for the present means of combating discrimination in politics and protecting fair representation. However, the court is not the final say on the matter. Congress has specific authority under the 15th Amendment to craft necessary legislation to safeguard the right to vote absent race discrimination. Accordingly, a new law that adequately protects the right to vote for every citizen is well in order. The record supporting such a law would press the Supreme Court to respect a new and well-grounded congressional response to a present and clear need for federal oversight of our election system, because they want to make sure that they are in charge. White supremacy, and anybody who says, oh no, it's not white supremacy, it is. They want to stay in power as long as they can. And if they can't stay in power and we put a black person in there, they're going to make sure that they stay in power over that black person, so decisions that need to be done for the black communities don't get done. Sellouts. Okay? We mean that word. All right? So, as I said before, the whole thing is Jonathan Goins was incorrect in what he said. And I will tell him in his face, and I will show him, reference it. He's the lawyer. I don't have a law degree. But I know how to teach and instruct. I do know how to do that. And there's no way I would have done what he did in front of all those people in there and was loudly incorrect. And I'll say it again. He was loudly incorrect. And so we have to come to a point where we got to stop this showboating with the lies. It's in black and white. And all we have ever asked with that act was to give us equality in voting. Let our voice be heard through the people that we choose to vote for. And this is what you guys have to think about. Now, and I know everybody can't do it. I get it. But I think some of the things that need to take place in order for you guys to let them get the message, start shopping outside of Alexandria if they change those maps back. Let me tell you why I say that. When your tax dollars don't represent you, because this is what happens when they do what we call voter suppression. It's called taxation without representation. That's what that's called. When they gerrymander you out of a district where you want to vote for who you want to vote for, y'all don't want to vote for no damn Lizzie Felter. Y'all know you don't. You barely want to vote for who you got in place right now. But what happens is when you allow them to do that, people from District 3 will have to vote for Lizzie Felter come next time she comes up for election. If you put them back in the place that they were, because you no longer can vote over in District 2 or 3 that you were already in. That's a form of voter suppression, because then that's taking away your power to vote for the candidate that you want to vote for. So I'd say to you, and I know everybody can't do it. Shit, they don't pay us a livable wage to do it. But I would not shop inside of Alexandria. It's called taxation without representation. I would pay my utility bill because you got to pay that. But when it comes to spending my money, I would go somewhere else and spend my money. I wouldn't spend it inside of Alexandria. Because everybody, including your mayor, everybody is in line to suppress your vote. Everybody's doing it. So I would take my taxpayers' money that I earned, and I would take it out of the city. That's just me. I'm saying that's the only thing you can do. Because they're not allowing you, when they try to change those maps back, which we knew they were going to do anyway. When they change those maps back, that's taking power out of your hands for those who were affected by this gerrymandering, illegal gerrymandering. And we're going to pull up the homeroom charter discussing what Jonathan Goins said was supposed to say in the homeroom charter. We didn't make this stuff up, what we said. He was incorrect when he said you can vote anytime. That was totally incorrect, because that's not what the homeroom charter says. I mean, you can change the maps within, he's saying that within that 12-month period, okay, because it says a year before the next election, which the year before the next election was 2023 when she changed it, right? 2024, right? So they had a whole year to do it. They didn't have a whole year every month to do it. They had a whole year. In that year, they have that time to do that changing, which they jumped up and threw it together, and in 2 weeks held it out there for y'all to look at it, and then went on and voted on it. Now, that's me. Because you know what? I understand the politics. I understand what they're doing. What they're trying to do is to take your voting power away from you. With them gerrymandering those districts like she did illegally, she's trying, they're taking away your vote, your voting power. So if there is somebody in District 3 that you want to vote for, okay, during an election, you're not going to be able to do it because they're trying to make sure your vote don't go where you want it to go. That's controlling your vote. Do you get that? Do y'all understand that's what's taking place? They're trying to control and suppress your vote. So the best way to deal with that, stop paying taxes. Because you ain't getting nothing benefit out of it anyway. What do y'all think about it? What are y'all getting out of paying taxes in Alexandria? Anybody, hit me up and tell me, what do you as Black African Americans in a city that's predominantly Black, explain to me what you literally get when you pay taxes in the city of Alexandria? Anybody? My chat wide open. Tell me what you're benefiting. How is it benefiting you paying taxes in a city that don't even make you relevant? Don't even think you don't even think you're powerful or important enough to keep you safe. Because that's what your taxpayers' dollars pay for you to be safe. We talked about those cameras. That's what your taxpayers' money pays for. If they would have went on and did the do and got those cameras we talked about. But no, he got drones. He got drones. Yeah, he got drones. So I'm just saying, make it make sense. You have a police force that's supposed to, well, they don't protect you, they protect the property. And I wish you guys would understand that. Police don't protect you, they protect the property. Okay? Unless they consider you property, which that could be a possibility. They'll protect you then. So let's talk about your police department. We know it has racial problems in the APD. We knew that. Is it still going on? Oh yeah, I'm quite sure it probably is. Why is it people not breaking down the door to become police officers in the city of Alexandria? Everybody hollers pay. I believe it's a lot of politics that has to do with it too. So I want to be reassured what I'm saying is not even that it's even correct, but it makes sense. So your tax dollars pay for that. How do you benefit from that? Are they keeping you safe? Because if I'm not mistaken, a 14 or 15-year-old got shot over there on Bolton on Band Street just the other day. They found bodies. I heard there was 4 shootings not too long ago. So and then let's not talk about all the unsolved murders here. Let's not even talk about all the unsolved murders in the city of Alexandria. So I want you to tell me, how are they protecting you? Because that's one of the things that your taxpayers' dollars pay for. I do know that for sure. I know your taxpayers' dollars pays for the utilities to be run to maintain your electricities here in Alexandria. I do know that, because that's like what, 55% of the revenue in Alexandria is utilities. Please tell me if I'm wrong, because we own our own utilities, right? I know that you pay for a zoo that you don't go to. I know you help out, your taxpayer money help out a lot of little companies and entities and organizations around Alexandria that you don't get a chance to benefit from. I know they take your money and buy different things that you guys have no use of. So I'm trying to figure out, give me some numbers and some things that your taxpayer money goes to and you benefit from it. Let's not talk about when companies come here or businesses come here, the incentives that they get when they come here. Whether it's a shoe store, whether it's a Popeyes, something that, you don't really have to use. I'm just saying, what does your taxpayer money go to that you guys get something back out of it? That's what I'm curious about. So why can't you take and spend your money somewhere else? Why? Why? Right now, as of tonight, no, as of last night, I think, y'all have the Winter Fete going on. So people from all over the place comes in and participate in the Winter Fete. Ask for the invoice of that Winter Fete. Ask for the utility bill of that Winter Fete. Then ask, did you sell any tickets? Ask, did they sell or have a gate charge? When you don't have a return on any investment that your taxpayers' money goes into, because you pay the utilities on that Winter Fete. I just want to let you know that. Those 3 or 4 nights that is running, any type of fete that y'all have here, you do understand you're paying for those utilities, right? You do understand that. You do understand you pay for the utilities out at Johnny Downs. You do get that, right? And you don't benefit because you don't go out to Johnny Downs. Your kids don't play on them fields in Johnny Downs, but you pay for it. You pay for it. That's something you don't benefit from, but you pay for it. This is what I'm talking about. This is why it's so mind-boggling that you guys don't mind. Now, guaranteed you, if you was paying money to me, you're gonna remind me that you paying money to me, and you need to benefit that I said I'm going. You want me to have a service or whatever it is that you said I sold to you. You're gonna want me to do that service. You're gonna want me to provide that product or that service if you paying that money to me. I better. But they rob from you every day. Every time you get paid, every time you go into a store, they steal from you. And then they have the audacity. They have the audacity to gerrymander you out of your district. and when it goes to vote, you can't vote for who you want to vote for. And y'all don't have a problem with that. They've been working on this for years. They do not want us to have a voice for our own betterment because they don't want us to have a betterment. That's what we got to see. They don't want us. Reason why there's no livable wages in Alexandria, because then that makes you equal to certain other household median incomes. So let me throw in here and let a whole bunch of franchises, restaurants come in, and we'll just keep being those servants for everybody. We'll just keep cooking food for everybody. And if a corporation or a organization, they're going to come with their own people. Majority of the time, they come with their own people. So they don't have to do a lot of hiring of locals. So again, how does it benefit you? And if you are local, guaranteed you is some nepotism and some back scratching and some favors done in those positions that you might get hired in. But we've been trying to show that to you guys for years. And they do it in your face. And all they need to have is a whole bunch of black looking people, or what we call colored people, to come out of the woodworks. Like C. Ray Lewis making the comment that was just as almost as ignorant as what Jonathan Goins said. I agree with him. Of course you would. We do. Look, let me tell you something. Some of you black looking people, or what we call colored people, you guys, y'all never change. Your personalities, the way you carry yourself, it never changes. So we recognize you. I'm glad. I want to recognize you because you're dangerous. Sellouts are dangerous. Let me tell you that again. Sellouts are dangerous. And you need not to even deal with them. And I know a lot of y'all can't do that because guess what? You're in the families. This is a small town. But a lot of sellouts are dangerous, especially when you're trying to get your voice heard, when you're trying to take care of a lot of the injustices that are happening to you and your communities. They're dangerous. Because they walk around holding hands with the same people who's keeping you from being able to vote for the candidate that you want. That's why they're dangerous. That's why you expose them and kick them out of a movement. Take some time. Read what happened with the Black Panthers. The truth, what happened with the Black Panthers. Read what happened to Malcolm X. In the midst of his Islamic brothers, there were FBI informants, sellouts. I know we're not on that grander scale like that. I get that. But I'm using them as an example because they're the ones who smile in your face and, oh, what's going on? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. And in the meantime, they're the ones who's splitting everything and running back. Think about during when it's time for us to vote during campaigns. Who comes out the woodworks every time it's time for a campaign to come up? The same people. The exact same people. So we can recognize who our sellouts are. And it's not about having a different of opinion. in a different of a viewpoint. That's normal. We get that. But when it starts to become detrimental to our people not being able to get what they need and what they deserve equally, that's where the problem comes in at. That's where we get hurt. And that's why you have to recognize them. And you have to call them out. We understand Jonathan Goins got up there and did his performance because he works for the mayor. We get that. We get that. We got that when it happened. But he sat up there and took up for a Karen. Because what is this whole thing about making sure she stays in her district? What is that about, y'all? That's not just because she nostalgically needs to stay in her district. Y'all, it's more behind that. And that's where y'all need to be looking. I tell y'all that all the time. Question everything and look behind the curtain. It's more to the idea that she just wants to stay in her district. It's more to that. It's a lot more to that. And then, on top of that, did you see who voted for Gary Johnson and Cynthia Perry to stay in that seat? We already told you what I'm saying. Me, I'm not going to say everybody else. I'm going to say me. We see how Cynthia Perry votes. Yeah, this might have been a monumental thing she needed to do in her head. But there was something negotiated. Something was negotiated. Because now y'all got Gary Johnson as your vice president. Something was negotiated, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Just watch. Mark our words. It's going to come out. I'm not saying he don't deserve the position. I'm not saying none of that. But that man is just as clueless as Reddix Washington was, sitting up there. We know Cynthia Perry and Jock Roy are buddies. We know that. We saw it a long time ago. We know he even mentions that he talks to her. He said that out loud. And he does that on purpose. He names the people that he has conversations with. He did it before. When he don't talk to the other black city councilmen, he tells you exactly who he talks to. And guess what he said that night? I talked to Cynthia Perry and Gary Johnson. Even before the vote was even in, before we knew about what was going on. That's the problem I have with us as black folks. Those are your suppressors, along with the oppressors. That's the issue I have. With how they're doing things and how they've been doing things. So, Jonathan Goins, for you to sit there and make the most unintelligible statement that it was not political, that's total bullshit. I call bullshit on it because exactly what took place. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. Start watching. If you don't never watch what goes on with your city council, watch what's happening now. Watch what's happening every time a vote comes up that needs to be something that needs to be voted on. Watch Gary and Cynthia. Watch them. Make them the star of any time you watch that doggone city council. Especially when it has something to do with the Black community, the Black districts 1, 2, and 3. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because you're going to see a whole different ball game happen up there on that Diaz. And when it comes to that agenda and when it comes to how they vote, watch. But we keep putting them same people in positions. We keep putting the same people in those positions. Now, they got amnesia because it was told earlier that a whole different thing was supposed to take place. But she got amnesia because now I'm in a position of power. Okay? Y'all get caught up on titles. That's the problem. Y'all get caught up on titles and you don't know the education or the experience. It don't matter. We as Black folks, oh, I'm this and I'm that. I did it. But it wasn't because I was trying to brag about what I have. And I'm not saying don't be proud of all the work you've done. I'm just saying have some experience behind it. She's power hungry now. Because she could have stepped down and let somebody else get in that position, but she didn't. She got back in it. And let me tell you something. Fowler and Ballard and Felter had already had that. That was a conversation that happened way before y'all even knew it was going to happen. This is what I'm talking about. Alexandria cannot grow until the people want it to grow. And I'm not talking about a handful of them. I'm talking about the majority. When the majority of Alexandria starts to pay attention, the other voices don't even sound. You can't even hear. Those other voices will start being minimal. But y'all will let a few make decisions that's going to affect you. Y'all are in deals that your grandchildren will be paying for. Some of the deals y'all are in that he's gotten y'all in, your great grandkids are going to pay for. That's what your mayor got you in with these different contracts and bills and all this stuff and these bonds. But y'all wouldn't know that, right? But those people sit up there and they vote for that. And they call themselves representing you. When your grandchildren are going to be paying them same bills because the taxpayers got to pay it, right? Bonds got to be paid off, right? But your grandchildren are going to be the ones who's paying it, especially if there's anything to do with utilities, because that's 55% of the revenue that comes into Alexandria. Comes from y'all. That's taxation without representation, because you guys are not benefiting from it. This is what we're talking about. But mark my words. Watch what happens now that Cynthia and Gary Johnson is sitting in that seat. Watch what happens now. They got their two cronies that they need for him. See, Jock works off of having puppets. He don't need to, he don't like opposition, first and foremost. Okay? He don't like you questioning him, especially when he's doing some shit that's not going to benefit you. Right? So he got his cronies in place to get votes that need to be voted for. He got his cronies in place that he knows don't know everything. They're not an experience like Malcolm and Green is. Jules is. They're experienced on that Diaz. So they give the two powerful positions to two, I'm not going to say flunkies, but people who don't really know. Because if they really knew, they wouldn't have voted on stuff in the past if they paid attention. This renewal tax is getting ready to come up again. Watch how that works. Matter of fact, it's coming up in December. Watch this month on the 16th. Watch how that works. Watch how that works. Now, if you want to go back to the original, she didn't even tell her district about that tax. She didn't open up her mouth about that tax. Watch what happens this time. Watch what happens this time. Mr. 10. Mr. 10.
Yes.
I need you to step in for just a second, okay?
Okay.
Welcome to You Can't Clip My Wings on Talk Shop Live, where we reset with soul and rise with power. Sundays is Soul Food Reset. This brings you ritual-based skincare and affirmations to start your week grounded and glowing. Wednesdays is mid-week motivation, bold fashion, legacy talk, and unapologetic truth.
Okay, I'm back. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That was it.
Oh. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I'm just saying, and I think we have some clips we want to also play with a little bit. But no, I just want you guys to kind of get a look at what's going on. Put all your glasses on and look at things from a wide perspective, not just a closed-minded perspective, but a wide perspective of what's happening. Okay? We know the elections in 2026 are coming up. You don't think he's ramping up for it? Oh, yeah, he's ramping up for it. Now, Tavares, you said that they're having 2 meetings. Tell me what you said. They said, what was the deal?
Yeah, they're having a meeting on the 8th and the 9th.
Okay, and so this meeting on the 8th and the 9th is pertaining to what?
It's literally what I said it was. It was about the redistricting. The mayor is going to get it, talk about how he's going to probably veto the new maps. or the old maps.
Okay. So you don't think Cynthia Perry them didn't know that?
I personally, at this point, I don't care. I don't care what anybody knew. We've been saying about laying down with these devils for the longest, and you know, people their careers can be shorter, they can be long, right? You could be a 2-time elected official. Hell, in most cases, you could be a 3 or 4-time elected official. But just as quick as it starts, it could end, right? Exactly. And just to put things in perspective, if there has been any backdoor deals being done, Cynthia Perry can be recalled, right? Because we're not 18 months, we're more than 18 months outside the next election. And
yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right, Tavares.
So she can't be recalled. You know, I hate to see that happen, but I tell you what, I don't know. It doesn't. If people want to lay down and get rolled over by this Jockwell administration, then I don't have the words to tell you to get your ass up and go do something about it. Jockwell heard what you had to say at that meeting. He heard what you had to say at both of those meetings, and he's going to show you that he doesn't care. He's going to make sure that his message out in the front is that he doesn't care. He's going to make sure that the alliances that he makes also echoes that sentiment, that he does not care about what any of the citizens say. If you did not realize that by now, I hope you realize it by next November. And if you don't recognize it by then you know, I don't even have to talk about Cynthia Perry getting recalled, because there's not going to be. I'm not going to be on board. We're trying to fix anything that could be fixed right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, if that's what the Alexandrians want, if that's how y'all feel, and y'all feel that y'all are being served properly, and you're gonna let this tax renewal go through, I really feel like whatever pain they making you feel, if they're elected, you make them feel just as much, if not more pain. So if they're worried about getting reelected, you make sure that they don't get reelected. If they're worried about this tax renewal, you make sure that they don't get the tax renewal. They put pain on you, you put pain right back on them.
That's right. You're right. So I when you were talking about it, so it says here, in this case, I'm giving UrbanCast their. I'm not going to steal from them, but this came off of UrbanCast, and it says Alexandria, Louisiana, as of today, it says 11, which is actually 12. You got that wrong. 12/5/2025. Tonight, we want to let residents know that the mayor of Alexandria has called 2 back-to-back briefings for December the 8th and the 9th. Both sessions will be focused on redistricting and the legal standards tied to the map debate, including Voting Rights Act requirements. Public comment is restricted and must be requested ahead of time. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is what y'all want him back in 2026, right? Okay. These briefings come only days after the city council voted to restore the 2022 district maps, a decision widely supported by the community. Because of that timing, many residents see the briefings as important to watch. Both sessions start at 4:30 in the city council chambers. So let me explain something to y'all. This is going to be a way, like we said, but you know, we already predicted this. We already said they were going to do that. We already said that. Yeah. We already said that. But again, y'all, he's coming up for re-election in 2026. Okay? He's coming up for re-election in 2026. Okay? So with him coming up for election, guaranteed y'all better make the right decision. It's on you. It's literally on you. Why are my comments are not coming up? I don't see my comments. Huh? Oh, let me do this. I'm sorry. It's something I might have didn't do. Let me put our because I don't see I see them over on the page, but I see them on my Facebook page, but I don't see them on in here in the comments.
You're probably not. Just read them off the page. There's nothing you can do about that.
Why not? Huh? Why I can't read them off the page? Hold up. You know me. I'm hard-headed. Okay. So it says here, Nat said neither did Gary Johnson. Oh, I have 25 comments. You guys, please forgive me. I cannot see these comments at all over on the page, on our StreamYard page. So it says here, why is it doing it? It's not giving me all my, okay. It says neither did Gary Johnson and political bobblehead. They've been breaking all kinds of rules, bait and switch. That's right. That's right. You're right. You are so right. Let me see here. Let me share this. Okay. Now, you guys,
you're viewing it from my page. That's why you can't see. You're watching it from my page.
But I'm still okay. I got you on that. But I'm still not seeing my comments over here on in my what's the name?
Well, okay. So, are you streaming the Universal Collective Network?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
Oh. Wait a minute. It didn't. It was supposed to. Oh, you know why? You're right. You know what? It's not. So I need to share it over there. That's what happened.
All right.
Oh, it didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Hold up.
Let's see.
Can you do it?
No.
Oh, shoot. Okay, give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry.
I was wondering. Now they're already watching from other pages.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't know I didn't.
Close your message box.
Okay. Huh?
The messenger box? That's your message.
Yeah, I did. I did that. I did that, gosh. Okay, let's see here. I apologize, y'all. I thought I had put it over there, but I didn't. Let me see here.
All right, there we go.
There we go. You got it over there?
Yeah, no, I don't. She said,
okay.
Y'all gonna have him drinking all weekend. Nat said, we're getting the comfort of knowing that the white peoples are living better than we are off our tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Summer says, depends on what district you live in. Shamir said, Johnny Downs lights so bright, I don't need headlights at night. If people like being treated like that, then we have to love it. Nat said that. Ms. Summer said, plus they're already trained. Shamir said, Goins would have got the middle finger. Nat said, protected the white power structure. That's what he did. He also said December the 16th is what we have to look out for because a lot of shit is going to come out then.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Shamir said they'd be breaking all kind of rules. Nat said neither did Gary Johnson, and then he called him a political bobblehead. Ms. Summer said it was a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
Shamir said we ain't lying. Summer called it traps, and then she said something about the dance. Good evening, Mr. Ricks. For some reason you never know. Mr. Shamir said right. Something about David Fauché.
What?
Cannot say political and okay, he was tagging people in it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I lost my spot. It's okay.
Okay. So I apologize if it's not on the screen, you guys. I don't know. My destination to UCN was not done correctly. but I did put it in here. Let's see. But if I open it up, it's going to open up twice. So I need to not do that over here. Okay.
Yeah, that's not what you wanted to post over there
Yeah.
anyway. That's the invite. Yeah.
Yeah. But it
But-
came up. All you have to do is go to it and it'll open up. But
What
yeah, to
What-
UC, if UCN, if you share it over to UCN, it'll open up in UCN, over on UCN.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like you sent the link.
Yeah, but if you go into the link, it'll come open. I just
No.
did it.
To the link that'll put you in the studio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So you might want to remove that.
I did. I took it off. Oh, I see what you're saying. I get you. I get you now. I'm kind of slow. It's kind of slow. Just give me a second. I'll take it off again.
Yeah. If Jock feels like it's imperative that that those district maps, you make Jock feel pain.
Mm-hmm.
You put him in the hurt locker. You make sure that whatever Jock Roy is trying to do, that you guys are just as active as you were at that city council meeting on every turn. You put pain on him.
Look, Mr. Porter. Hi there.
Hey, folks.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We're
Pretty good.
doing
Follow the
fine.
link.
I knew that y'all were coming on. How did I know
okay.
it? I don't know, but I knew. So I stayed up. It's almost 10 o'clock,
All right. Thank you.
but I knew you were coming on.
Mm-hmm. Look, Mr. Porter.
Talking about
Go
we're
ahead.
talking about on the 8th and the 9th, your mayor is doing a briefing on the redistricting maps.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
So I was informing the people. I forgot which one of y'all said it, but I was in the room with you, Malcolm, and Ed, and it might have been Jules and Mr. Fuller, and we was talking about when they're not giving you what the community needs, you got to figure out the best way to put pain in their life. And if Jock is choosing to go this route and wanting to veto what a majority of the city council deemed necessary and what the people spoke out in favor of, you got to put pain in Jock's life. You have to show him at those polls. You have to show him at them city council meetings that although they may not have liked the titles and labels that we gave him, he is exactly what we said he was. And that's kind of where the conversation is right now. That goes for Cynthia as well. I'm not saying to recall her, but if she does not put up any plausible defense, if this was all for a show, just to get people out, just to act like you heard the people, and she put this on the agenda for a show, knowing that Jock Roy was gonna do this on the back end, then your District 3 may need a new council member to represent them. Because I know when Jules was the District 3 council representative, he wouldn't have never did no shit like that. It would have never went down like that.
Now remember, Cynthia is the one put this forward.
I know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I feel like it was performative. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, it got on the agenda. So
Right.
somebody had to do that. She did it. The other thing is this. Her district was the one that was most negatively, adversely impacted by this redistricting, by these new maps. Her district was hurt the most. And that was another primary reason. Salita, when you approached the podium, you pointed that out. She lost 400 voters, registered voters.
That's
She
right.
lost 800 total people.
Yep.
So they were not interested in following the charter at all. So yeah, she put it forward. I believe she will put up resistance to this. Now, what Jack Roy is signaling to us is that he will veto it if he hasn't vetoed it already. Have either of you heard? Did he actually veto it yet?
I think he wants to explain it. I think he wants to give his just reasoning for doing it over days. Now, this is 2 back-to-back days of briefing. So he wants to the comments are limited. You got to pre-apply to be considered to go up there. Then he's gonna now this mayor is gonna give us a lecture about the Voting Rights Act, right?
Yeah. Mayor. Yeah.
Mayor is gonna give us a lecture, kind of like the Jonathan Goins. They fought and they died. They fought and
they bled and died. They bled and died. But look, my question is, do you think he'll let me speak if I send in a request to speak?
No, he will not. Mr. Porter, you are the bane of Jock's existence. Let me tell you something. When we joke about you running for mayor, that's what keeps Jock up at night.
Oh,
that
boy.
Bothers him because he knows that you're not being bought. He knows the actual reason that you would have run or that you would run. He knows the fact that if you run, if and when you run and you win, that he knows that his goose is cooked because he's been doing this crooked stuff for so long that it's going to be impossible to hide all those bodies. And he knows that the next incoming mayor will find all those bodies. And if he knows anything about Mr. Porter, he knows Mr. Porter is definitely going to go looking.
I'm going to check into a lot of that stuff.
Exactly. But Mr. Porter,
check into that stuff. Yeah.
Mr. Porter, you already said he was going to do it. You said it the other night on the show that what's taking place is going to happen. You said that.
Yeah,
already.
He was going to veto it. I always felt that. Yeah.
But see, my issue, and I get what you're saying about her being initiated and stuff, but look, she sacrificed her people before, so that's the reason why I don't have the same sympathy that you might see her in a different light, but she sacrificed her people before.
So we just have to wait and see what happens. Now, here's the procedure. So Jack Roy has already signaled he's going to veto this, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what he's going to plan to present on 2 consecutive days so that he could justify his veto. Mm-hmm. That's going to be really interesting. And since there cannot be any rebuttal, he can put as much misleading information in front of the citizens, and the ones who think he's honorable and has some measure of integrity will accept him at his word if they're not familiar with the whole procedure. Here's the procedure. The mayor has 3 options. He can approve it and it goes into law. He can veto it and it goes back to the city council, or he cannot sign it at all, which after 10 days, it goes into effect without his signature. So what we feel, he's going to have these 2 press conferences with limited comments, and we know what he's going to do, right? He's going to bring people or accept comments from people who support keeping the 2024 maps, all right? And on the heels of what the Supreme Court just ruled about the Texas state maps, I'm sure they feel buoyed up by that. So they're going to say, well, the Supreme Court just approved the Texas redistricting, so they're going to always throw it back there. However, that's not the starting point. The Supreme Court is the ending point, the finishing point. The starting point is our charter. are we going to comply with our charter or not? Our charter says every 10 years, okay, unless there is an annexation that significantly changes the population of one district or another. If you're annexing land that nobody lives on, there's no impact. Not until a developer put up houses, apartments, whatever, and people move in there, now you have population. Aside from the decennial census and annexation, there really should be no redistricting. Now, the problem here is that one individual took it upon themselves to redistrict it simply for their own personal gain. And in doing so, they upset the apple carts in 2 other districts. So there was collateral damage there just to satisfy one person. And that one person, that council member, took upon this redistricting in illegal procedure. They did not follow procedure. So you follow the charter first. Now, if there's some impediments, now you resort to the next level of laws, would be Rapides Parish. And then if that doesn't resolve it, you go to state laws. And if that doesn't resolve it, now you go to the federal laws. Okay. Now, if they want to talk about the Voting Rights Act, that's the 4th level. Okay, your charter is your 1st level, parish, 2nd level, state, 3rd level, federal is the 4th level. So the Department of Justice, to keep from having a whole bunch of these type things come to court, or the Justice Department having to take you to court over lines that were drawn unfairly, they list a lot of guidelines. And if you follow the guidelines, you are pretty much assured that you will not be brought into court because of your the maps that you've drawn. Okay. Well, those guidelines are based off of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That's where the Department of Justice guidelines were developed. If you follow these guidelines, you'll be in compliance with the Voting Rights Act law. If you don't, then you're subject to either having a lawsuit brought against you or having the Justice Department bring you to court over your maps, whoever initiates it. Okay. So now they want to jump over, they want to skip totally over the charter. Now, the parish really doesn't have any stringent rules around redistricting. You jump over the state, and now you're going straight to federal, and let's talk about the Voting Rights Act. Yeah, okay, well, let's talk about it. Now, what the Supreme Court has done, they pretty much dismantled Section 2 and Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act. However, for our case here in Alexandria, we don't have any impediments to meeting the criteria established in our charter regarding to redistricting. Our charter is very clear. Each district should, as nearly as possible, have the same number of people. Point blank. It is based off of the data done every 10 years in the United States decennial census. Very simple. You have data, new data every 10 years, you adjust your maps accordingly. And the charter, the city charter for Alexandria says, have all the districts as evenly as possible. And there's some things you try and do after that. Now, those are the primary goals. Then you try not to split precincts if you can, But look, since I've been here, we've always had split precincts. I worked as a commissioner at the polls, and there were split precincts when I worked there. So every time there was a redistricting, they ended up with some split precincts. So the premise that these 2024 maps were based on, they're fraudulent. I mean, because we've already been doing that. And if they're saying we're trying to correct what we've been doing all the time before, then that means all the time before that was fraudulent. Okay. So here's the problem. The mayor on those two briefings is going to pontificate about the Voting Rights Act. And he's going to talk about what the Supreme Court did. But now remember, that's 5 levels up, right? That we shouldn't even be at that level unless you are violating the laws. So if he's going to try and show how what was done is not in violation of the 1965 Voting Rights Act, he's starting at the wrong place. He needs to start at the charter and what was done, how that violated the charter. And they're going to skip over that. They're going to skip over the charter, the parish, the state, and federal, and go all the way to the Voting Rights Act and what the Supreme Court did. So we have to recognize that there's some place we must draw a line in the sand. Where is that place going to be? And look what Jack Roy has done this time in office. He went straight to the state legislature. Now the charter states you go to the city council first before you go to the state legislature. He did not do that. As a matter of fact, he insisted he did not have to do that, but that's in the charter. So are we going to have a civic government that follows our charter or not? Then the other one is the city council is the body that does the appropriations. They handle the purse strings. They control the money. Jack Roy pre-filed a bond issue with the Louisiana Bond Commission and then came to the city council after the fact. The charter is very clear on that. You come to the city council first before you go to the bond commission. He did not do that. Again, are we going to be a civic government that follows our own charter, or will we not follow our own charter? And when are the cases that you will follow the charter, and when are the cases you just throw the charter aside and do whatever you want? And now we have this situation with the redistricting where it's not based on any new data, it's not based on an annexation, and it does not follow the charter as closely as the previous redistricting did. So if you're not going to follow the charter, then what are we really doing? What is guiding us to operate our city government? Because if we're going to ignore the charter from time to time, then we have no way to guide ourselves. You know, we're just drifting in the open sea and going wherever the wind blows us or the tide takes us. So we have to draw a line in the sand somewhere.
Well, Mr. Porter, listen, I know y'all doing that. I'm going to just say this. It's hard to draw a line in the sand when your head is buried in the sand.
Yeah.
And the people that they got on the city council, the vice president and the president, they're like bobbleheads. They just shake their head up and down, you know, like you get at the baseball game or something. So they don't know. And it's sad when you don't know, and you can't use that excuse, well, I'm learning on the job. No, that's over with. That's over.
Well,
it's over.
Wait, you've been in there 4 years now, or more than 4 years. That's enough and to earn a college degree. So you really
Exactly.
should be very knowledgeable about this at this time. You know.
And quit doing what people tell you and read for yourself. They don't, because Malcolm said, hey, we've been doing this wrong also. It should go like this.
Yeah.
Why Malcolm had to tell the president that, she should already know how it's supposed to go. But if you're a bobblehead, you don't know. I'm gonna let you go back and talk. I'm kind of hot about the whole situation, so I'm going back and listen.
Well, look, I kind of preempted something that Tavares was saying, and I certainly want to let him get back to it, because all of this is nothing but setting us up for, hey, we are going to marginalize the Black community in Alexandria, and we're going to let Elizabeth Filter draw the maps to suit her personal whims, and that way we can make sure that we do not have District 4 that could come into play in the event there's 2 white candidates and 1 Black candidate. Because if we go back to the original maps in 2022, District 4 was our most diverse district. District 5 is like 90% white. District 1 is like 90% Black. District 2, about 80. District 3, about 80, 82, 84. So all of our districts are predominantly one race, with the exception of District 4. And it was like 60-40, 60 white, 40 Black. Now, in 2030, 5 years from now, we're going to go through this again. And the issue here is that people are moving out of Districts 1, 2, and 3 and moving into other parts of the city. And the reason they're doing that is because Districts 1, 2, and 3 are being neglected. Their infrastructure is neglected. Their water pipes, their sewage pipes, their drainage ditches, their electrical lines, their streets. It's everything you can think of in those districts is being neglected. But the other areas of the town, Districts 4 and 5, they're not being neglected. So when people have the means, they move. They move to a side of town where they're not getting blackouts, they don't have brown water, they're not getting flooded, they don't have open ditches, they got closed ditches with sidewalks, they got street lights, the roads are in good shape. When folks get the opportunity, they move. So in 2030, we're going to go through this again, and we're going to have to encroach on other parts of the city to comply with the charter, so that all 5 districts have the same amount of people. So even with what Jack Roy will do with the veto of this, and we do not have 5 votes to overcome it, because Felter's not going to vote for it. She's the one caused all of this, right? And we know that Fowler's not going to vote for it. And Villard is at large. He represents the entire city. And by right, he should look at what's best for the city as a whole. And what's best is to comply with the charter and go back to the 2022 maps that he voted for in 2022. He didn't have any issues with it then. So we really have to make our wishes known to Villard and try and bring pressure on him to vote to override the veto. I don't think that's going to happen, but we need to try anyway. Now, to counteract what this mayor is doing, because wow, if you got to do this on 2 consecutive days, and this is where Tavares was sharing his input on, if you're doing this for 2 consecutive days, boy, you must have a lot of stuff to say, right? You have to do it 2 times, and what I feel our 4 council members need to do, they need to offset this mayor's press conferences with town meetings and explain the other side, because the mayor's going to give you one side. This is all going to be one-sided. You're not going to hear the other parts, to this. And you're going to hear a lot about what the Supreme Court has done. And let me tell you, when the Supreme Court ruled on these excessive variances in districts, it's because there were some serious impediments. Alexandria don't have those impediments. These were cities that had developed and were separated by a manufacturing area, industrial complex. So they agreed, it made more sense to leave this area intact, this amount of people in that district, even though it was 10% more than people in this district. But there were impediments. There were some cases where these lines was drawn and there was a valley in between, but it was still part of that same district. Okay, and on one side the valley was ranchers and farmers, and on the other side were residents and urban type things. Okay, not real similar interests, and they say, well, it makes sense to separate, even though the numbers are skewed. But you see, Alexandria doesn't have any of those type impediments to what we're trying to do. So there was no need for the 2024 maps. And as much as they try to justify it, the truth of the matter is the only reason we are in this situation is because one person wanted their home in a different district. That was it, pure and simple. So now if you can use the elected position for your own personal gain, for your own personal whims and wishes, then you're not serving the people. You're only serving yourself. And that's not what a public servant is there to do. They're not there for self-service. They're there to serve the public. And that's the situation we're in. So, Tavares, sorry for jumping in there and
by all means, look, you can have the floor. If I'm saying something and you need the floor, I will definitely not have an issue with it. So I want to work our way backwards, right? I want to get into this, but I want to work our way backwards as to how far the fuck have they gone to do all this. All right, so first off, we're starting off with the meeting Monday and Tuesday, right? There has to be an entire meeting after the council's already voted on it, right? Now let's go back, and we had to vote on it, right? So the reason we had to vote on it is because something was done that required it be put on the agenda so that it could be rectified. Now we're going to go back and talk about what was put on the agenda, which was the gerrymander, and how did that even become an issue, and how was it handled? Well, the last gerrymandering thing, that's when Cornelius White got his back broken, and they tried to hurt him. They did hurt him. They arrested him, right? And that's because the public was speaking out about this gerrymandering map that Lizzie Felter had put together. Now, how do we get to that map? Well, according to Jay Scott, who's a current elected official and a police juror, right? According to him, what he said was that Matt Johns was brought into the city's office and sat down with Jock Roy, was demanded, his presence was demanded at the mayor's office, and he was sat down, and he sat with Jock Roy and Lizzie Felter, and they threatened him if he did not do XYZ with these maps, they were going to make sure that he never got, he didn't have a job. Is basically what they're saying. So that's the testimony of an elected official who has sworn an oath, right? He took the oath, so he has no reason to lie. With Matt Johns in the room with him, right. So that's how we got to these gerrymandered maps that they're fighting tooth and nail to defend. Well, what else what's something that looked like that? Like they bypassed a lot of rules to get there. Now you're talking about the tax renewal. That goes back to what Mr. Porter said. So the tax renewal was they had the bond application pretty much already filled out and damn submitted before it ever went to the council. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about a pattern of an administration that wants to circumnavigate the city charter. And guess who's helping them do it? Trey Gist. Yeah. Trey Gist is assisting him in circumnavigating the actual city charter. So what happens now, right? So what happens now is, again, when they talk to you in this political language, you talk back to them in the political language. And that political language is to make them feel the pain. You make them feel the pain at the polls. Now, here's the outline for Monday, right? This was just released today. So this is a 2-day event that he's already planned as of yesterday. So this is going to be Section A, outlining acceptance of or answers to council questions about ordinances 129/2025 and 37/2024, their distinctive features, and the controversies related to whether one or another would deny citizens the right to vote or enable any impermissible violations of the equal protection clauses, most particularly by a failure to adhere to the legal principles upholding the one person, one vote rule. So he's already making his way into how this is justifiable.
Right. That's right. And that the one person, one vote rule, that's part of the 65 Voting Rights Act.
Relatedly, dilute citizens' voting power, impinging? Is that
impinging? Right.
Impinging on the right to vote by improper gerrymander, racial discrimination, or other protected class discrimination in the drawing of districts. So now he's retroactively, because before he didn't have all this information. So now that he's gotten this pushback and there's been this move to go back to the right maps, he's now got this cavalcade and cachet of information about how this was legal, which further lets me know that he was in fact the one that threatened Matt Johns. Because now he has all this legalese that he wants to use and these presentations that he wants to use to justify something that the people don't want. All right.
And look, on that second bullet point, my goodness, why didn't he come out the first time when Elizabeth Felter did this and raised that issue? Because that was clearly gerrymandering. So is he bringing up this point, and I'm specifically referring to the second bullet point, as the going back to the 2022 maps constitute improper gerrymandering?
Yeah,
or is he referring to the 24 maps? Because our premise is that the 24 maps are the gerrymandered maps, and that the 22 maps were the ones done in accordance with all of the laws.
What he's saying is he's trying to set it up where the conversation shifts from gerrymandering to saying whether or not this what we've done breaks the rules. And that's why I'm saying what you're saying is it's important to have a counter conversation to this, because he's going to put out all this nonsense about how it's not illegal instead of saying, yeah, you know what, we shouldn't have had a question about how this was illegal or not illegal based on the fact that we did this correctly.
Yeah.
Right.
There were no basis to challenge
the other matter. That's what I'm getting to. Right. So bullet point 3, deny access to the ballot in drawing districts intentionally to make the act of voting more difficult. You see how he simplified what they've done. He's trying to break it down and make it, hey, look, guys, I know that, you know, you might feel a certain type of way about this map, but listen to me, it's not that bad, right? As a matter of fact, it doesn't even break these rules. Let me explain to you why these rules aren't being broken.
And look, that was the result of the 2024 maps. We had people receive the wrong ballots. There was confusion, and some folks didn't get to vote because they received the wrong ballot, and by the time they got the right ballots, it was too late. So there was the confusion. There was, I mean, bullet point 2 and 3 can actually be used to support going back to the 2022.
That's what I love about the truth. The truth, you cannot hide it. You can't conceal it. You can't lie about the truth. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron.
Right.
Can't lie.
Right.
Bullet point number 4. Whether or not one or the other would fail to consider cultural and other common ties for districts that create compactness and contiguity. More specifically, wait a minute, hold on. Cultural and other common ties for districts? What?
So what cultures do we have in Alexandria? What cultures?
When the Feds?
We got
Okay.
That's the French culture, right? The French Cajun culture. Do we really have a presence of that in Alexandria? Do we have a community that is strictly Cajun French?
No.
Okay, we don't, right?
We do have a community, right, over in District 4 that Lizzie talks about a lot, right? She talks about the people that have been her neighbors for years. Like changing the voting lines is going to make difference of whether or not she's their neighbor anymore. You still have the same stupid fucking street, you still have the same street address. So it's not like you're going to stop being neighbors because you live in, because of a voting, imaginary line nonetheless.
So hold up. I got a question.
Building a wall between.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So I got a question. So what does that have to do with the overall voting rights act being violated? What does that have to do with it?
He's saying that it's not being violated. He's saying that the map that they created, that Lizzie felt that he's this is a trial for him. He's treating this like it's a trial. He's laying out all the points, whereas this would not violate the rules. This map does not violate the rules, and anybody that says otherwise is a lie, right? And so because of that, I'm going to go back to the map that me and Lizzie put together.
But what does all that, what you just read, that was bullet point. What number?
Fail to consider, this is and the controversies relative to whether one or the other would fail to consider cultural and common ties for districts that create compactness and contiguity.
That has nothing to do when we're talking redistricting. We're talking numbers. population, and voting rights.
We're
That's what
talking
that
about.
is.
We're talking about cultural and other common ties.
Come on.
Well, look. So Salita, you really getting to the meat of the matter here. Okay, if he's saying cultural, that's what my previous question was about. What cultures do we have here?
What does that have anything to
do?
And then if you can identify what cultures we have, how are we splitting them up? And then remember, one of the things about redistricting in all the seminars and classes and modules we went through, remember one of the issues we're trying to avoid? Compactness. That was one of the 3 issues, right?
Packing and fracking.
Packing, fracking, and compactness is the packing, right? And so this, once again, it looks like this is really just supporting everything that we did for the first set of maps. Now if he wants to say the white community is a certain culture and we don't want to break that culture up, well, the thing is, you first go to your starting point. Your guiding principle is the charter. So you try to stay as close to the charter as you can. And these other things, they're secondary. Getting the numbers equal is primary. That's the primary focus of this redistricting.
Contiguity. All parts of a district are connected to each other geographically.
And we did that in the 22 maps, yes.
Compactness. Districts have a geographically consolidated area and a regular smooth shape, avoiding a sprawling or strange appearance.
And if you look at our maps, we got that.
Preservation of precincts. Districts minimize the splitting of precincts and the preservation of communities of interest. What?
Okay, so now that sub point, preservation of precincts. Did y'all hear? Can you remember what Matt Johns said? He said that was his first time at the helm when they took on redistricting. And if he knew better, he would do it differently. Okay? Because he needed to start with the precincts and get them set up and straight. And then when he overlay our maps, then if there's precincts that's being split, maybe he could adjust the precincts. Okay? But it is the police jury's responsibility who design or set up the precincts, not the city council. Police jury, that's what falls to them. And then we come after that and we draw our district maps. But it's very important to understand that 4th item is what they're trying to hang most of their justification on. Yeah. The splitting of precincts. And the thing is, we've always had some precincts that were split among district lines, always. And you try to minimize that, but that's not your number one primary goal, is to start off with no precincts being split. That's not the goal. You try to minimize that. And we've always had split precincts.
I'm looking at that 3rd point, 4th point, the preservation of communities of interest. The council made genuine efforts to maintain and generally consider neighborhood continuity with minimal disruption to areas having common social, cultural, historic, or economic interest.
Okay, listen to what he's talking about. He don't want District 4 and with the marginalized District 3. Let's just break it down. Okay.
Right.
District 3 got a lot of Black poor people in it.
Mhm.
District 4 don't need to be wrapped up in that. Let's just break it down. Okay.
That's right. We don't want to move a predominantly white precinct into a district that is predominantly Black. The predominantly white precinct is more affluent. They have higher economic value, more wealth, and we don't want them to be in a district where 14% of the district is at or below the poverty level.
Exactly.
And
You gotta go ahead.
80% of the district is white, is Black. We don't want that.
And keep in mind, parts of District 4 has a lot of historical, quote unquote, houses in it,
Yeah.
residents in it. So how dare you want
She
to
doesn't,
mix that?
she doesn't want her historical home wrapped up in no District 3 niggertry.
That's right. Basically, if you want to say it that way, that's correct.
Well,
That's exactly
well,
what
and the thing is, just like you pointed out earlier, when we draw these lines, we're not going in and erecting a wall, to mark the boundary of the district.
This is how far.
Lines, right?
Yeah, we want to loop this address in. Yeah, just this address. We're going to draw around these 4 houses and make sure that that's not how redistricting works.
We're not building a brick wall, erecting a steel wall. We're not putting up barbed wire fences along these new district lines.
If you let them talk long enough, they'll make it sound like that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm reading into this. That's how I'm interpreting this, because I do feel that's what they mean. That's what they're clamoring about.
Allow candidates to pick voters instead of voters electing candidates.
No,
that's unreasonable protection of incumbency versus appropriate respect for incumbency choices by communities of interest, and require correction or consideration of information placed into public record about the relevant history of the aims of a particular plan, whether disputes are political or legal. Section B is to receive public comment regarding redistricting. C is staff information for completion of the record, comments, and questions posed to the council. This briefing is open to public attendance. This is not a meeting of the city council, and unless otherwise noted for public comments, is not subject to public comment.
Okay, well then why is B in there?
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
Public comment requests related to this agenda and provided to the office of the mayor shall be requested in writing at least 1 hour before start time. Requests to speak shall be strictly confined to the following specific 3 topics and shall not be redundant: racial disparities or dilution of voting power caused by the redistricting affecting minority voters, compactness and contiguity issues, or number 3, correcting information placed in the record proceedings. Persons may receive direct comment from the mayor at this briefing as provided by written policy. Public comment requests may raise any other non-agenda issues provided in accord with our policy. However, those requests may not be addressed December 8th or 9th.
Okay, So he's basically saying that if it don't have nothing to do with the gerrymandering, then you don't really need to talk. And you need to let him know ahead of time so he can have a prepared answer. So if he sees those questions ahead of time, he has a prepared answer or a prepared lie that he's going to make up to answer your question. Basically, is that what you're saying?
He's only talking about 3 topics. You're only, as the citizen, you're only allowed to talk about 3 topics.
And see, this is what keeps going on in this city. This is what keeps happening. And this is why the city of Alexandria and the Black folks in Alexandria keeps getting, I'm going to say, screwed. Okay? This is why they keep getting screwed. Because, see, this is his meeting. And this is a little time when he can act like Napoleon and I'm in charge and you're going to do exactly what I say. And you're only going to be able to answer the questions that I put out there. That's what y'all dealing with, a dictatorship. And that's what irks me.
The way I interpret that part is that, well, let me step back. Section B and then the part in red, or the part after section C and the part in red, they are contradictory, because if B says receive public comment regarding this redistricting, and then the paragraph underneath states that public comment is not not subject to public comment. Okay, this is a briefing. It's not a city council meeting, and therefore it's not subject to public comment. Now, keep in mind, we had a public comment portion of the city council meeting on this very ordinance, right? Matter of fact, we had 2 public comment meetings, on public hearings on this. So now the mayor is having one. Part B say he will receive public comments, and then the part after said, no, you won't. It's not subject to public comment. And then in red, it says public comments must be submitted in writing. In writing. So you're not going to have the opportunity to get up and say anything. You submit it in writing, and if you read further, he may not even consider your comment that you submitted in writing. He may not consider it and may not even address it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's his way of not letting you talk.
Yeah, so this will be totally one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely one-sided. So
that's why I understand what you're saying about. Hold on, I understand what you're saying about those councilmen and councilwomen organizing their own meeting,
their own town hall meeting. Yeah.
And can't they use the city council chambers to do so?
Well, look, the city council chambers is the city council's chamber.
Yeah,
it's not the mayor's chamber.
That's right.
Okay, the mayor uses it with the permission of the city council.
So, I mean, that would be the prime opportunity to open up the doors, and even it's not a city council meeting, so we don't need a quorum. Right?
No, you do not need a quorum. And if they wanted to, at the conclusion of the mayor's briefing, they could convene a town hall meeting right then and there.
That's right, sure can.
And rebut all of the false or inaccurate things that's presented.
That he said.
Or give a different perspective on that same topic.
Y'all know who y'all city council people are. And we know who they are too. Get on the phone, call your council people, or inbox them, because you know they online. Inbox them and ask them, are we going to have a rebuttal after his meeting?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. So this is day 2, right? So day 2 is redistricting continued. Receive public comment regarding redistricting continued on the following. And then they got all the plot points. Corrections or considerations of information placed in the public record about relevant history, blah, blah, blah. B, acceptance of or answers to council questions. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to circumnavigate the council having their own meeting by pretending to take council questions.
Well, wait. I'll be darned. Okay. So he's pretty much saying, okay, now that I've made my briefing, and I've given you my side of the story and all the propaganda I want you to hear. Now I'm going to accept
Ooh.
questions from the city council.
Ooh.
You you know what?
Oh. All right there, sir.
All right. Well,
Oh
you know
gosh.
what? The city council need to have their own separate
Yeah.
and apart meeting. So after his conclude, that's when they should have a public hearing. Not a public hearing, a town hall meeting.
Meeting. Mm-hmm.
Town hall. And that would be the topic.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
C, staff information for completion of the record proceedings, questions posed to the council. So I guess he's going to have questions for the council. Then he's going to give that stupid ass state of the city report preview.
Now that would normally come in January, right?
He wants to couple
He's
that.
He's going to do it.
He's going to
at the
bundle
beginning of December.
And item E is reignite projects, which reignite is now listen. C. Ray Lewis, I hope you listening. If anybody know him, put this show in his inbox. C. Ray, I know what you did. I see what you did. I watched you on the social media stuff, and I see what you did. And the fact that I'm not going to say the fact that people still respect you is a shame, because everybody deserves respect. But the fact that you expect to be treated the same after what we seen you do versus before we saw what you did, we saw what you did. And we know that you've capitulated and you've bent the knee to Jacques Roy. I understand. I get it. A lot of people that don't have the testicular fortitude, the intestinal fortification to stand up to shit, they will bend the knee. And when you, sir, I see you bent the knee. And that's okay. Just remember that once you bend the knee, you don't have to worry about getting back up and fighting for us ever again. And that's what made the difference between Reddix Washington and Joe Fuller.
Yep.
That's what made the difference. And you're a Reddix Washington.
Yep.
But that's okay. I'm not going.
And a Roosevelt Johnson. Don't forget Roosevelt.
Yes. You're worse because you're educated. You're worse than them because you're actually educated.
Wait a minute now. Roosevelt graduated.
Roosevelt from where? From what?
Wait a minute, Tavares. He has a degree in communication.
Ham sandwiches.
From Northwestern University.
The briefing is open to public attendance. This is not a meeting of the city council, and unless otherwise noted, public comments is not subject to public comment. And then he's got the same, listen, this guy's off his rocker. I don't think he's going to completely understand anything until you got to make Jock feel some pain. You got to make him understand that this is a city that's being ran by the people. It's not Jacques Roy's Alexandria. Mm-hmm. It's not. It does not. He's the mayor of a city. That means he's supposed to be an inspiration and a direction, a waypoint for us to some type of goal. He's supposed to present something that gives the people of this city, the majority of this city, some type of hope. Not just the people that's the Chamber of Commerce. But you can't. He's incapable of doing so, and it's the saddest thing in the world when the guy that C. Ray Lewis has been in the knee to has been in the knee to the Confederacy, and that's what I feel like this Chamber of Commerce is. It's the Confederacy reborn. They were born the same year in 1914 in Alexandria, and I just want to keep reminding you guys: what do you think 1914 Alexandria was like for Black folks? What do you think that shit? What do you think that was like? Was it comfortable? Were we able to start businesses? Were we being encouraged to do so? Were we being assisted in doing so? Were we being locked out of business? And were we being locked out of being able to do business? Were we being, denied the access to have bank loans from Red River Bank or whatever bank that might have been, or Rapids Guarantee Bank, whatever bank? Do you think they were treating us fairly as Black people in Alexandria in 1914 when the Chamber of Commerce was founded? Probably not. Probably not. But you know what else was erected in 1914? That damn Confederate monument that's outside your courthouse. And those two things are related. And I don't care what nobody says. So when Jock Roy is bending the knee to Deborah Randolph, and then you got C. Ray Lewis bending the knee to Jock Roy, and then you got Jonathan Goins bending the knee. Well, I ain't gonna say what else he don't do the bending. The thing is, all these people are bending the knee to Jock Roy because they really truly believe that Jock Roy, because remind you, we're 12 months out from the next election.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're 11 months out.
Yeah.
That's what all this is about. Y'all got to make Jock feel the pain. You have to get up there and you have to vote no on that tax renewal.
So we as a community, as a city, we have to keep this in front of the voters. We have to keep this in the forefront of their consciousness so that they don't forget it. Because sometimes we have short memories, and 3 months from now, this would be a thing of the past, and it won't have much influence in October when we go to the polls. We need to keep this in front of them. We need to show how they are negatively and adversely impacting our communities, which is the majority of the city. So if you're doing this to the majority of the city, you're essentially setting up an apartheid type situation that was in South Africa. You have the minority ruling the majority. It's no longer a democracy. And we want to maintain our city, our civic government, as a functioning democracy. So that means you cannot draw the maps just to help yourself. You cannot draw the maps to pick your voters, people who will vote for you, put them in a district so that you can stay elected, remain an elected official. That's not that democracy. Democracy, the voters choose the elected officials, not the other way around. The elected officials do not choose who their voters are. We have to decide, will we be a civic government that will follow our own rules, our city charter? Will we go to the state legislature before going to the city council as stipulated in the charter? Will we go to the bond commission before we go to the city council as stipulated in the charter? Will we redistrict at the drop of a hat, at the whim of a personal preference of one individual, or will we do it after we get data from the decennial census, or we annex a large area that changes the population? And if we're not going to follow our charter, then pray tell me, what are we actually following? So we need to be a fair government. We need to be an equitable government, treat everybody in the city equally, treat all communities equally, treat each district equally. And we need to have some integrity. We can't just pick and choose when we're going to follow the charter and when we're not going to follow the charter. For me, that's what this boils down to. Now, if they want to jump 5 levels up in the process and talk about the Supreme Court and different times the Supreme Court ruled on gerrymandering and which ones they approve, none of that applies to us because we don't have the same circumstances. We don't have those same impediments. That's just not there. They're trying to create it here, but it's not there. This is an attempt to hold on to power when they are fading. And that's what this is all about.
Exactly. And that's the issue throughout the nation with these gerrymandering areas, is to hold on to this old supremacy power to continue manipulating and marginalizing the communities that need to be heard. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. And it's sad because a lot of people, just like if you remember what Mr. White said at the last meeting, he said people are afraid to come to these meetings.
Right. That's right. Yep.
And it's sad that they want to speak, they want to have a voice, but they're afraid, especially when you work for the city, because you have a retaliating you have a person who gets revenge and he doesn't care who he hurts. Yeah. He don't care. He's very vindictive. And that's a person who got a lot of emotional issues going on.
Right.
You know, this is not about you. This is not a personal thing. This is talking about the communities. You don't put anything in the communities. And this is what bothers me about the voters. You guys vote that man in here. He's been in there for 16, going on 20 years now, right? And you guys keep putting him in there, but you guys are not benefiting off of him being your mayor. Right. Overall. Yeah. At all. He's thinking about District 4 because that's the district that he falls into.
Keep that 5. In mind. And 5. Right.
Yeah. He lives in District 4. He needs Felter in that position. But I think there's going to be somebody who's going to come up against him when it comes 2026. It's got to be. And it's got to be somebody who wants to move Alexander forward. That's what it has to be.
Yeah, we definitely need to get him out of there, without a doubt, because he is not serving the interests of Alexander as a whole. Anytime you neglect the majority of the city, you're not serving the city as a whole. So that has to change.
And he's like an abuse because he blames you for your situation.
Right. He's blaming the victims. That's right.
Yeah, he blames the victim for their situation. We asked for a living wage. They got together and turned down the living wage.
Right.
So what else does he have to do to you guys to understand that he has not benefited you guys not one bit? I don't care how many pictures you've taken with him. I don't care how many times you brag about knowing him. All of that, when it comes to the community, if you are about a community, it's not about that. It's not an individual, personal relationship you have with him. It's about how is the community going to benefit with him being in office? How is the community going to benefit with the city council in office? Let's talk about Villard. Everything that had anything to do with the Black communities, the districts 1, 2, and 3, he has voted against it. But y'all keep putting them in there. He keeps getting the votes to become the city council at large. He's another one. Useless to the majority of the population. But y'all keep voting him back in there. And anything that they put on that agenda that's going to help District 1, 2, and 3, he gets with Fowler, he gets with Felter, or anybody else up there white, and he votes with them, and it's voted no. We can go through his whole agenda on every time he's been in that seat, how many times he has actually voted against anything that was going to help you guys. But y'all keep putting them in there. It's got to come better now. It's 2026 will be here. It's time to change. It's time. It's time.
Well, and we got to get mobilized right now. You know, like you had mentioned, it's 11 months off from the election. We have to formulate a plan, a strategy, put it into effect. We got to execute it. You know, so Jack Roy is having these 2-day meetings and wants to talk about the redistricting, but he had no meetings about the redistricting in 2024. Where was all of this in 2024?
Exactly.
Where was this?
Because there's something else behind the agenda. That's why I said ask questions, always ask questions, and look behind the curtain.
So he's laid out, he's given us a roadmap of where he's headed. We don't have to ask him what's your destination, where you're off to this time. We know he's going to veto this, and he's going to try and soften it or mitigate it by having these meetings to try and declare that he's being very transparent, but he's not accepting public comment on it. He's going to certainly pick and choose what comments he'll refer to. They must be in writing. There'll be a host of comments he won't bring up and won't even address, or he won't present the comments and he'll just offer a rebuttal. You know, so
that tells you and Mr. Porter, that tells you a lot about how this is more about him asserting his power than it is the concern of the people.
No, he doesn't want to be questioned. I get that. And he doesn't want to have to answer. He doesn't want to have to make up any answers. So if he doesn't address it, it would mean that he would have had to make up an answer. That is not true. So he's trying to do the best he can to stay as truthful and honest as he can while lying to you. But he definitely doesn't want to be put on any unnecessary or uninvited added pressure to being honest. He doesn't want that. So he's going to try to minimize the need to be honest as much as he can.
Why not be consistent? What he did the first time was he stayed out of it. Well, he was involved behind the scenes, right? But when it came to the actual ordinance, he didn't sign it. Why not do the same thing again this time?
Because I did it. I'm telling you I did it. I'm showing you I did. Haven't you read my agenda? I was behind this. I was behind this all the way. Matter of fact, I'm the one that called Matt Johns in the office because me and Lizzie had a problem because me and Lizzie live in the same district. And I don't want her put in the district with these colored folks because damn, I heard Jules Green lives over there. You know, I heard that Cynthia Perry lives over there. And although I do love Cynthia Perry, I don't want to be her neighbor. I don't want to be in her district. You know what I mean? And that's what this was about. But
look, I think in her maps, I'd have to go back and confirm this. I think in her maps, Jules Green was put in District 4.
He was. Yeah,
but see,
in her maps, Jules Green was put in District 4.
That map was all about buying time. They were buying time, and they knew that it could have got contested. They knew that it could have gotten contested. However, they were just buying time. They were trying to see if they could get away with it at first. And now that they thought that they got away with it, or whatever, I don't know. They thought they got away with it, and now that it's being addressed again, now we have to go through this goddamn 2-day seminar about damn gerrymandering and racism as if we didn't know what it looked like. So, yeah.
So this is more of him trying to make it seem like, oh, no, this is not what it is. But really, that's what it is.
Exactly what it is.
You know,
I agree. I agree with you. I think this is where he comes out once again and shows that I was behind this. And because it looks like it's going the other way, I need to intervene and see if I can make a course correction here. you know, but he didn't intervene before because it went the way he wanted it to go. But now that it's going the opposite way, now we got 2 days of meetings and we're going to go through this litany of items, you know, about redistricting, what it means, how we're affecting culture, and what the one vote, one person is, and all this nonsense, right? But where was that before? If he truly wants to show that he has any measure of integrity, just a little bit of integrity, he would be consistent. He would do the same thing he did last time. He would not sign it. He wouldn't approve it. He won't veto it. He just won't sign it and say, this is city council business. I'm going to let the city council resolve it because they are the ones with the authority and a responsibility for drawing the districts. I'm not going to weigh in on this unless it's a clear violation of the charter. Then I'll ask the city attorney to get involved. But if it complies with the charter and the charter is in compliance with the parish, the state, the federal government, then I'm just going to stay out of it. I'll let the city council work this out among themselves. That's what he did the first time. Why not do that this time? Why get so involved? It's because it's going the other way, see? In 2024, it was going the way he wanted. So he had no reason to get involved. He was behind the scenes pulling all the strings. He was behind the curtains. Now it's not going the way he wants. He has to step out from behind the curtains and try and get and set things straight. And that's what's happening here. Be consistent. You didn't sign it the first time, don't sign it this time. You didn't get involved publicly the first time, you was involved behind the scenes, don't get involved publicly this time. Do what you can do behind the scenes. If it don't work, then you're out. You lost that one. You know, put that in the loss column. You win some, you lose some, right?
But I feel like I can't lose this one. Like I can't lose it. Not that I can't lose it. I know I can lose it because I've already lost it. But if I lose it, it's going to be detrimental. Somewhere in this amalgamation, in this enumeration of the situation, somewhere along the way, somebody, one of my running buddies, somebody that's politically affluent, or somebody that, you, like he said, culturally, whatever the hell that means, that somebody is not going to be happy. So I have to come out and do this. So now we get to asking the question: is Jock Roy the one that put Lizzie Felter up to run in the first place?
To run? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know where.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know where she surfaced from. You know, because she ran one time. I
can tell you that her husband was working for the what was that? The inspections department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was part of code enforcement.
Kinetics. No, he came from LC, moved to Kinetics, then got picked up for the inspections department during COVID.
Code enforcement.
That's what it was. He moved from Kinetics to code enforcement for the city during COVID, when there were no codes being enforced. Then shortly before she runs, the city gets hacked. Come on. You mean to tell me that Lizzie Felter, the nature of their relationship ain't suspicious? And this ain't no conspiracy. These are all facts. Yeah, he quit before she ran, I guess, or he quit before she took office. But the fact remains, somebody that's not qualified to work code enforcement for the city of Alexandria, even though it was being ran by Jeff Hall, it was being operated by Jock Roy and Michael Marcotte. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Jock is the one that put Lizzie up to running. How about that? And now we're starting to see why.
Yeah, and now let's just go back and refresh our memories. So Harry Silver resigns, right? And Harry Silver sends a letter in and asks us to place the lawyer in his place, the lady. And she's a nice lady, okay? But also, Catherine Davidson had submitted her nomination to be considered for that position. And when the city council voted, we voted Catherine Davidson in. And then when the unexpired term was finished for Silver, then Catherine Davidson was up for re-election. That's where Elizabeth Felter made her entrance. She put her name in the race there, and there was another guy, Spencer, I think, was in the race.
Thomas Spencer.
Yeah, and Catherine Davidson won that election. Okay, and then Catherine Davidson the next time decided to run for mayor. And that left her seat open because the even seats are the same election cycle as the mayor. So if you're in District 2 or District 4 and you choose to run for mayor, then you're not able to run for the seat that you had. So that's what happened. And that was when Elizabeth Felter won District 4. But now prior to her even submitting her nomination for candidacy, we had already redrawn the maps. We didn't vote on them until August, but they were already redrawn and presented and on display for people. So when she nominated herself, she knew that January 1st, those maps were going to be different. She knew that. But she went in there anyway. And then when she got in, she decided, well, I'm going to change the maps. So the point is, do you want elected officials to be able to just do whatever they want based on their own personal whims, or do you want them to serve the public and follow our charter? You know, are they in office to benefit themselves, or are they in office to benefit the public? It's as simple as that for me.
They're ingratiating themselves, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But this is the time of Trump. You know, you pay Trump money, he give you a pardon. You want to make an acquisition of another company, you eliminate DEI. You know, totally throw it out. You know, if you want to get out of jail, you know, buy into his Bitcoin business. I mean, it's so now all that's trickling down to the local level. You do whatever you want, and you do it for yourself and for your friends and for your buddies.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And we can't have that. We cannot have that. We have to do things for the benefit of the city as a whole. You know, I look at this city like a train, and you have different cars. You know, the mayor is up there with the locomotive, the engine, driving everything. And then you got the luxury cars, District 5 and 4. And then you got essentially the cattle cars, District 3, 2, and 1. And the cattle cars, the axles are worn, they're rickety, falling apart, and you're still trying to drive this train and make it from one place to the other. Not until you stop and you go and you make some repairs, change the axles, change the wheels, fix the frame of the cars for District 3, 2, and 1. Now you can really start moving and make some progress. But without doing that, you'll never climb a hill with that locomotive unless you disconnect cars 3, 2, and 1. And that's what these people in Baton Rouge did with the town of St. George. They just let the other stuff go, and they went on with just the luxury cars. And that may be where we're heading. Now that's not what we should do, but I think it's going to come to that.
It's called Thomas the Train. That's what it's more like.
Yeah, Thomas the Train. And think about it from this way. And guess what? And it's your taxpayers' money that they're going to do it with.
Yeah. And that's what they did to poor Baton Rouge. You're absolutely right. They're not reimbursing them for anything of the infrastructure and all the things they got, nothing at all. And then get this, the state legislature is going to hear a bill that will force Baton Rouge to let St. George have access to the things that's still in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, there's schools and stuff. Because they got the school vouchers now, right?
The magnet schools and other things, the libraries and the parks and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think that's cool. They can't.
But you got to.
Go ahead.
What it just says, time of Trump. It's the time of Trump, Mr. Cole.
Yeah.
So if they got that Trump ways in them, it's gonna come out.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is,
but here's what I got.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What on? No. I want to say something about Jack Roy talking about the 1965 voting rights thing.
Okay.
If I may.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What in the hell could he tell a black person about the 1965 voting rights act? What stories can he tell? See, I could say something because of my great grandmother told me what they had to go through to vote.
Yeah.
Told me about how people would threaten them, if you vote, this is gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the place, the bridge where they had the bloody Sunday at. We went to Montgomery. We stopped over there by the bridge. What can he tell us? Oh, my grandfather was the one standing at the door with the shotgun, making poor niggas didn't vote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the only thing he can tell us.
Yeah.
He can't tell us nothing about what we went through to get to where we at. As long as he's got them bulldogs by his side, with they sitting there bobbleheading, because see, this was gonna do. He's gonna call Cynthia Perry name and Gary Johnson name the whole time, and they're gonna sit there and bobblehead.
You right, he is going to be calling their names like we're the best of buds, like I've already talked all of this over with you and all that stuff. And what were the two districts hurt the most by this redistricting? Districts 2 and 3.
Yeah. And they're gonna sit up there and bobblehead. You know how them bobblehead sound like them. I can't say what I want to say. Sound like them retarded kids. They can't hold their head up. They're just gonna be going up and down. It's to the point where it's damn near sad. And they not going to tell their citizens how to fight back because they don't know how to fight back or they're too scared to fight back. They should tell their citizens, hey, if Jack Roy vetoes this, we're going to vote no for that district, for that tax renewal. Because guess what? Here's how I think about it. I'm not going to be the only person suffering. So goddamn it, if I gotta suffer, you gotta suffer too. We ain't gonna have no money coming to Alexandria. You better pass it. You better get it illegally, because if you gotta take it to the ballot, no, they shouldn't vote on it. But they're scared to tell their citizens, "Hey, look, this ain't good," because evidently we don't have no say so. So we're gonna make them respect us. Tell them no, they're not getting their tax renewal. We'll all be looking crazy. We'll all be looking just, well, what we gonna do? I don't know. Hey, put the mask back like it's supposed to be. We might get you something. But the money ain't coming in our districts anyway. So what the hell?
That's right.
You see, because guess what? Just District 4 and District 3, District 4 is still divided. But the black folks don't know that. Because they'll put the money in the area of District 4 where they want it to go in. Just like District 1. Money don't go to Monroe Street and the Bowden Street. Money goes to Johnny Downs, but Johnny Downs is still in District 1.
Right. That's right. Exactly.
So And Jack Roy are telling people, well, money still goes in your district.
Right.
Look at here.
That's
So
right.
the city councilman got to tell them, hey, look, we're going to fight this like this. He vetoes it, he don't get no goddamn money. And let's ride out. And we all be looking crazy. Because see, it says that it rains on the just and the unjust alike. And goddamn, we finna see how it rains. We finna see. But they don't have that. They don't have that backbone to do that. They don't have the guts to do it. I don't know if because they scared of Jack Roy. I don't know what he got on them. But goddamn it, if I'm gonna be the one suffering, hey, we all gonna suffer. We just be looking at each other crazy. Why you did that? Why you did what you did? You know,
exactly.
And maybe I'm wrong.
No.
You see, but that's my thing.
Here's one thing I'm reserving judgment for. I want to see what the council members do. So I'm anticipating after Jack Roy conduct these mayoral briefings for these 2 days, and he shares a one-sided perspective on this, then I think his next act is he will veto the ordinance and send it back to the city council. Now, at that point, the city council will need to, they don't have to, they could vote to override it. Now, we know we don't have the 5 votes unless Jim Villard chooses to vote for it, the override. Now, when they vote for the override, we need to keep this in front of people. Look who voted against your interests. Look who voted against a fair map for you. Fowler, Felter, Villard. And look who vetoed it, Jack Roy. And we got to keep that in front of them for all the way until this time next year. Because this just shows you who they are for. And they're not for you.
Yep.
They're not for us.
Yep.
And another thing, see, they like misinformed people.
Yep.
See, some people you could tell anything to, and they'll fall for it. Well, guess what, buddy? You can't put a wooden nickel in my back and expect me to move because it just don't happen like that. But if you're uneducated, ma'am.
No, you're correct what you're saying. I was just going to piggyback off what you're saying, because if y'all remember on some of his speeches, he kind of came out to say, in other words, he liked people uneducated. He liked them uninformed because that's the ones he can manipulate more. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
You know?
So when you have people trying to educate people, like Miss Linda Bell, see, he's going to try to diss stuff about the 1965 Voting Rights Act. The only thing he's doing is trying to discredit Miss Linda Bell. Because Jonathan Goins couldn't do it. So this is just, Mr. McCall, when you can make, once again, Mr. McCall, it's about power. That little bitty lady stood up there and got this man to talk about the 1965 Voting Rights Act for 2 days.
Yep.
You know why? Because he don't want nobody to pay attention to her. He wants them to think that she's crazy. So I spent 2 days talking about what she said.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If it wasn't no big deal, why I say something about it?
That's right.
She had 3 minutes. She had 3 minutes of comments, right? Mm-hmm. And that's for 2 days of discussion. Boy, she must have made some salient points for him to have 2 days to refute those points.
Well, the idea that Jonathan Goins said that it's not political, and I read the Voters' Rights Act. You guys wasn't on earlier. I don't think if you heard me.
I heard you.
Okay, so I literally, how many times did I say political? How many times is political written in there? Several times.
So many times I told you not to say it no more. You can't say political.
Oh, you did say that. So come on. Oh my God.
You see. So what are they scared of? They're scared of the black people paying attention to somebody that's educated in that area.
Yeah.
So they'll spend 2 whole days refuting 3 minutes.
Right.
God damn, something got to be wrong, Mr. McCall.
Yeah.
2 whole days
Right.
to make somebody to discredit an educated person in that field. I'm not saying that you're dumb if you don't know. You just don't know about that area right now.
Exactly. You don't know your history because
You see,
you're too busy trying to approximate yourself, so you really wouldn't know your history. Think about it.
yeah. And the best thing they can do is have somebody uninformed. Because if everybody come up there and say some stuff like that, you can't tell everybody they're not right. It's just simply not true. How many times you gonna say that?
Right. Well, and then he might try and say this isn't right, or what has been stated is incorrect. That's why our folks have to be able to read, or they digest some of this stuff, or have someone they trust. Because you see how we mentioned Jack Roy and his group. They are very suspicious of any of us who are educated, learned, or well-read, right?
Exactly.
And they get our community, they get our Black folks to also be suspicious of any Black person who's educated, who's well-read, who's knowledgeable about something. They get them to suspect that the first thing is, they're trying to pull something over on us.
Yeah.
They're trying to swindle us, trying to just pull something over our eyes.
Yeah.
And that's Jock and his group trying to cast dispersion on those of us who do understand this and trying to explain it to our people so that they would have a better understanding of it. So now if our people are mistrusting us because Jack Roy say you can't believe what those folks are telling you, then
and he's good at saying that.
Yeah, you see, so now we got a bigger hill to climb. But he's I really think, and I'm going to suggest this to some of the city council members, that they pull together and have a town hall meeting on this.
I think that would be a good idea.
Explain this, because he's not going to allow any of us to speak. He's not going to read any of our public comments. And I tell you what, I bet he got a whole team of lawyers that's putting all this stuff together for him. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he paid them $100,000 to put together this stuff for these 2-day meetings, just like the way they paid RAPC to develop a presentation for Elizabeth Felter to do on that redistricting. That's all our money. They're using our money to fight us with.
Yep, that's exactly right, Mr. Porter.
Well, Mr. Porter, you say hold a town hall meeting. The only one would do that is Malcolm and Julius Green.
Right.
Because remember, Gary Johnson and Cynthia Perry don't know nothing.
But that's all right. That's what you need. It doesn't matter who holds it, as long as it happens.
Yeah, here's the thing. They really need to come together.
There you go.
And do it. Because look, it was Cynthia Perry put it forward, so her name's on it, right? So
her name's on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, her name's on it. So if anybody's going to be there at a town hall meeting,
she should be there.
Definitely needs to be, has to be, should be Cynthia Perry, right? She the one put it forward.
It should be.
And it got passed. Okay.
Yeah.
Gary Johnson needs to be there because his district is affected by it. And he voted for it. Now, and then now Jules is affected by it because Elizabeth Felter maps moved them, put him out of a district. And then Malcolm is the person, District 1 was not impacted by this. But Malcolm was the only one who has held a town hall meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
But see, Jack Roy might hit harder than I do, though.
What's that? Say that again.
Jack Roy might hit him across the back harder than I do. So they might. So
my thing is, Mr. Porter, you're correct in the idea. The first person who should actually do a town hall meeting is Cynthia Perry. But my issue with Cynthia Perry is, and you know me, the idea that her friendship with the mayor is the issue. Her friendship is too close to do the job that needs to be done. Yeah, she did a monumental, great thing by doing this, but is it going to stop right here? Is the fight going to stop right here? Is she going to actually do, if you suggest to her, hey, Cynthia, maybe you need to do a town hall meeting, get a full understanding of what's going on. If she's not going to do that, he knows he got her. He knows he got Julie Johnson. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I think they need to do it as a group.
I do.
As a whole.
Yeah, as a whole, not as one person or whatever. One person can plan it. Say, for instance, Malcolm could plan it and set it up. But when it's done as a group. And I'll set it up for him, but this is all of us doing it. And exactly. I'm going to reserve judgment until this plays out, because I can't see, now that you've crossed this line and you put this forward and it got approved and it went to the mayor, I can't see just folding up your tent and walking off the battlefield. I can't see that.
Okay. And you know what? Go ahead.
But
I'm sorry.
Like I said, I'm going to reserve.
We've been down that road before. Mr. Porter, we've been down that road before.
Yeah, we have. We certainly have. Yeah, we certainly have been down that road.
Got me once. Yeah, I tricked me already. I got tricked.
You draw a line in the sand somewhere. So where do we draw that line and we don't retreat any further? Where is that line for our city council members? If it wasn't when the mayor went to the state legislature without coming to the city council first, even though the charter states that's the procedure you follow. The fact that he pre-filed a bond issuance with the Louisiana Bond Commission without coming first to the city council and getting their approval. Do you draw the line there? Now they redistrict because of one person so that they make sure the Black community is marginalized and that the majority of the city is not the ones that's governing the city. It's the minority. Where do we draw the line? So my point here, my position, okay, that's 3 strikes you out. We draw the line here.
Exactly.
This is where we draw the line.
Now, Mr. Porter, now you mentioned when he went down to the state legislature, you know who brought that up? Malcolm did.
Yes, that's right.
Malcolm was the one who questioned him about that.
That's right. Yes.
You see?
Right.
So that's why I said I get you. I get the ideal of the reserving. I get it. But I see another thing. And it's not that I want to see it that way, but I watch and I see how you move, and your movement hasn't changed.
It's based on past behavior, right?
Exactly.
If they did it before, you're kind of expecting them to do the same thing.
Again. And yeah, I commend the idea that she brought it up. But my commendment is only limited to what's happening afterwards. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Because I can take it back.
Yeah, because
afterwards.
We want to see them follow this through to completion, right?
That's right.
Even if, in other words, we don't want you walking off the court before the end of the game.
After
we want you to stay in the game until the time runs out, the clock runs out.
Don't run, put your tail between your legs and run and say, oh my God, I didn't realize it was going to be like this. No, stay there and fight. I guess, I don't know.
So
No, you're right, Miss McCall. Shit, I mean, you see it, Miss McCall. If it look like a duck and it quack like a duck, it ain't no chicken. It's a duck. You just gotta call it like it is, Miss McCall. This shit is the citizens should be tired of that because it don't bother us. It really don't affect us.
Yeah.
You know, and I know Mr. Porter. I agree with Mr. Porter. But boy, Mr. Porter's kind of hard, Mr. Porter. Whoa, it's kind of hard.
I know, but
it's kind of hard. You're a good man.
There's a point there's a point you reach where it breaks your back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point you stand up and you resist.
Yes,
so now
right.
where is that point for our city council?
That's
Have we reached that point, or is it further down the road somewhere? You know, but at some point you stop taking the lashes and you turn around and you pull that whip from them and you start issuing out lashes. So
start beating the hell out of it.
Is this the point?
Well, see, here's the thing. When they can tell you, what you fight back for? You see, what are you fighting back for? I'm tired of you hitting me. Well, I'm not hitting you that hard, so why are you fighting me back?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. What you fighting back for? I ain't hit you that hard.
Yeah.
You know? Man, Mr. Porter, it's just some tricky stuff, Mr. Porter. And see, that's why they don't want Mr. Jules Green and Malcolm in some of those seats.
Oh no, look.
Because
Lord, they do not want Malcolm and Jules up there. Do not.
Nope.
No.
They already know.
They want a Reddix Washington. They want a Roosevelt Johnson. You know, those are the type people they want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And look, and Jock Roy has an uncanny ability of picking those people.
Yeah.
He knows how to pick. He can pick them out of a crowd of 100 people.
Yep.
He could go right up to them and he know which ones to pick.
That's right.
He just, that's his superpower. That's his divine gift.
Yep.
He can pick out the ones that he know he can use against their own people.
That's right. Yep. If he's not good at anything, he's good at that. If there's nothing that he cannot do straightforward, that's it. He knows how to pick them. He smells them a mile away.
Can y'all think or remember of a black person that he affiliated himself with, and that black person rose up and say, look, I can't be part of you anymore because I don't agree with doing this. I'm not going to do this to my people. Can y'all think of anybody that he picked that actually stood up and did that?
Nope.
No.
Not
everyone he picked, they just jumped on that bandwagon and they just went out and did whatever he told them to do to the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Every last
one. I found out what they call it. I found it today from a guy named Smackwater. It's an honorary white card.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's what it's called, an honorary white card. They think they're going to get treated good just because you're doing what you're doing.
People.
Okay, so that goes back to the meritorious manumission. That's what that was. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Wasn't meritorious manumission was after you have worked a certain amount of time, you had an agreement with the slave master. You either paid him for your freedom and he agreed, or he granted you your freedom. But it wasn't because you was the overseer or you told on the other slaves and stuff, No.
Let's make sure that. Let's make sure that before we go further.
Most of the manumission was upon debt, and some of them wasn't honored. The descendants would not honor it.
I tricked you. What you mean you tricked me? We finna die. Yeah, we finna die because after I kill you, y'all got to kill me. It's Mr. Porter. You know, you think, Mr. Porter, that all this stuff was over in the
Yeah.
1950s and 60s.
Right? That's
We
right.
really, I really didn't think that we. And what makes me so mad about it is because I done read some stuff, and I assumed that stuff still didn't exist no more. And it hurts me because it still exists.
Yeah.
See, that's why I get mad because I thought this was over with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
see, I thought this is over, but it's not over with.
Exactly. It's not. You're correct to a certain extent. You're correct, but the deeds that you did, the meritorious manumission came in when you would tell on other slaves, let the master know that there was going to be a revolt. Okay.
Louis Saint, yeah, like Louis Saint did.
Yeah.
Okay. And they would actually grant them their freedom based on that, huh?
Based on all the deeds they did for their service, but including those things, those little things that they did. Awesome. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, that's very good knowledge. That's good to know.
And that's back then, and it's still going on in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Still going on.
Yeah.
So we went through all of this in the early 60s, culminating in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are, 2025, and we find ourselves right back in the same position, having to fight for those rights all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not successful in winning it again this time, that means our kids and our grandkids will suffer what our grandparents and great grandparents suffered.
Mm-hmm.
So it would come
and then
360 degrees around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so sad that your parents won't fight for your kids.
Yeah.
So you know this wrong, and you know your kids going to suffer, but you won't even fight for them.
Right.
And you tell me every year on Facebook that you'll go to the moon and back for your children.
Yeah.
Boy, you lying to me.
Yeah.
You lying to me.
So in 1965, when this legislation was working its way through, I was 10 years old.
Damn.
And so my uncles, my dad, neighbors, they were all involved in the fight. They would have meetings in our living room, and me and my brother would sit there and we would listen. So now we weren't actively involved, but we were knowledgeable. We know what they did. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is there from the last fight? They're all gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them gone.
They're all gone.
Yep.
And so now for this new fight, we have to cultivate and raise and train a new generation of activists so that we can restore these rights and keep them. So every two generations, we're going to be faced with this.
Well, Mr. Porter, we don't do it right. That's why we don't have it. When I say that, I mean this. We don't get our kids when they're 8, 9 years old and tell them what they're going to be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know how they trained Bill Clinton when he was younger to become a president?
Yeah.
And they tell their kids, hey, you're going to be a lawyer. See, we need to get our kids at 13 and 14. Hey, look, man, you got good grades. You're on the debate team. All right, look, we're going to take care of you. And all you got to do is follow our lead. Anything you need, we're going to take care of you. But we need you in this office, and we need you to fight for the people. We don't do that. You see, they pass it on down to their kids. We don't. We stop at a certain time. And that's, we got some good kids, some good young kids out there that'll do it. But I have, Mr. Porter, some of these kids don't know who Martin Luther King is.
I know. That's right. Yeah. That is true.
You see?
Yeah.
They don't know who John Lewis is. They don't know it. I'm like,
they don't know.
Well, wow. If they don't know, they don't know how to fight. See, if you don't know who you are, then you don't know what to fight for, Mr. Porter.
Yeah, you're right. You know that.
You see,
Go ahead, Matt.
it's just a lot of them don't know who they are. So when you're lost because you don't know what your parents and your people went through, you know, so they don't know how to react. You know, although we just took them kids to that museum in Alabama, some of them kids got in their mind that they're not going through that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not going through that. You know, so
and they
learned about the. Yes, ma'am. You see, they went through all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, man. Oh no, we ain't going through that. You know, and if they, like I say, if they don't know, then they'll wind up being back in that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids just don't know, Mr. Porter.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
Look, that old saying is that if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it. And our kids just don't know. You know, they don't know what their ancestors went through so that we can vote. And the number of us that don't vote after everything that was sacrificed to get us the right to vote, it's a shame. You know, it's a shame. And I expect that there'll probably be some legislation introduced somewhere that'll say, if you haven't voted for 3 consecutive elections, you forfeit your right to vote for the rest of your life. You know, right now,
I believe that
they take your right to vote away if you committed a felony. And a lot of our guys who, even after they get out, they don't even go back and try to get their voting rights reinstated. And that's what Voice of the Experience is about, strictly to get the felons, ex-felons, to get their voting rights restored. But that's what we're looking at. If we don't make sure the next generation know what was sacrificed for this right and how important this right is to be able to vote and to have fair districts drawn up so that your votes are not marginalized, then we're lost. Because going forward, they're going to strip them of the vote again. And this Make America Great nonsense, they're talking about pre-1964, right? Let's make America great again. Let's take back our country. Let's get back to 1960, where they couldn't vote and they couldn't use our facilities and they couldn't go to our schools, you know, and they could not work in our jobs or work in jobs. And it was no problem if you chose not to hire them. Well, that's what we're on our way back to.
That's right.
That same situation.
And that's why we need to continue to encouraging our people to create their own. Because if they won't let you work for them, you got to be working to take care of your family, right? So
that's
create
right.
your own. They can't stop you from creating your own.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Carl, I had to call us about a day because I was frustrated. And they told me, man, let the people die.
Oh, wow.
They said, let the people die, leave alone. They said, because if you're dying, something happened to you, and they cut a main vein. And if you don't try to stop yourself from bleeding, that means you want to die.
Gotcha. I got you.
I'm like, well, hold on. He said, see, if them white folks doing them like that, and they're not standing up for themselves, they want to get treated like that. He said, because everything right now is at the palm of your hand. You can pull up that 1965 Voting Rights Act, and you can read it your damn self.
You sure can.
They can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, he said they could do that if they wanted to, but they don't want to.
Understand that? Ask us, you know.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He said they don't want to understand nothing. He said they want everybody else to do the fighting, and only thing they want to do is to celebrate with the damn fight over with.
Yeah, they want the benefits, to reap the benefits.
Yeah. He
But
said,
they
man, y'all
love
don't
it.
stay, man.
But you got to look at it. Who taught them that mindset?
Okay, who taught us our mindset then? You gonna say it like that?
But who taught them their mindset that they don't do the fighting? They just reap the benefits.
Who
Right?
taught us our mindset? Who taught us our mindset?
Well, my mom taught me my mindset for sure. Because I come
My
from
grandfather.
yeah, your
my-
grandfather taught it. Okay.
yeah,
So
you know,
you
I
did have
just sat in the room. Well, see, I just sat in the room with John Wiley Price, the guy over there in Dallas.
Mhm.
He been going to jail since 1980 something to fight for people's rights.
Mhm. Yeah.
You see, so I've been involved. I ain't gonna say I've been involved in it, but I'm like Mr. Porter. I just sat around and watched a whole lot of stuff. And when he said don't go like that, John Wilder Price, man, it didn't go like that. And we finna fight.
Mhm.
And now guess what? I think he's still the second man in command in Dallas right now. Because the people know that he's fighting for them.
Yeah.
But see, a lot of people, Mr. Porter, like I said, when you got influential Negroes in Alexandria telling folks, hey man, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. Because guess what? Fighting Jock Roy is easy. It's fighting the
Yeah.
people that look like us is hard.
That's where most of the resistance comes from, right?
From the people.
Yeah.
It's coming from
Yeah.
our own people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're fighting
That's what's
for
hard
them.
right there.
We're
Yeah.
doing something that's
Yeah.
going to benefit their interests,
Yeah.
and they're getting someone who do not want their interests to be advanced to fight us to keep from helping them.
Yeah.
And, so it really is convoluted, and that's why our hill is twice as high to climb than others.
Exactly.
Yeah, the other day I did a live. I was just messing around, and I called, the black bulldogs that protect the white power structure.
Yeah, I saw that. I did. I was in it. Yeah.
If we get rid of the dogs, the power structure ain't nothing to fight.
Right.
God damn them dogs. Some of them dogs bite so goddamn hard. you don't want to deal with them dogs. And they drooling everywhere. So if we get rid of the dogs, the two-legged dogs are more dangerous than the four-legged dogs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They'll hurt you worse.
Yeah.
And they'll hurt you with words.
Exactly.
Boy, that's something.
Mr. Porter, I think the ideal of having that town hall meeting, not to just take what you're saying, Mr. Turner, but that I was just thinking, I think that would be something that needs to take place. It really does.
Right.
It really does. And so if anybody knows some of these city council members that we're talking about, definitely hit them. Definitely hit them up and talk about having the town. If you don't have it directly after his meeting, have it within that week.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Because there needs to be a response. Just like after every presidential state of the union, you got the opposing side that have a response.
Mm-hmm.
Our council members need to have a response.
Mm-hmm. And let me say this too. Also, I was just thinking about now he's talking about them Reunite projects that he's talking about. Okay. Now you about to take away the ability for our people. You already making up your mind to take away the ability for our vote, but you're gonna need some support on the Reunite projects. Don't tell me you ain't, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need some support.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because it's about him.
Well, but if I got most of the city council in my hand, I got the support I need.
That's true.
I don't have to answer. I don't have to answer no Malcolm or Jews for what.
That's right.
What I look like answer? What I look like answer the black people?
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm Jock Roy.
You don't want that, right? Think of what that. Think of what harm that does to your image, to your, to your bravado, where you have to answer to 4 black council members, or you have to seek their approval or lobby their support for something you want to do. But you made an excellent point. I don't even know what these Reignite projects consist of. I don't know if the city council already gave him a blank check. But boy, if they haven't, he vetoes this, you vote against the Reignite projects.
That's what I'm talking about, Mr.
And fight.
We fight fire with fire.
Exactly. You fight this out in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Fight it out. Because I can tell you right now, if these Reignite projects follow the same path that Sparks followed,
it is similar,
and that Restore followed, and that Nehemiah followed, none of that benefits our community. None of that. So if you want to do this, if Reignite is something like a warmed over Spark project, or Restore, which really stuck it to our people, or Nehemiah, which didn't do anything for us except put a little bit of money in a few black people's pockets. And then Reignite is probably going to be of that very same mold, cast from the same molds as Nehemiah, Restore, and Spark. So you know what? Vote that down. Vote that down.
So here's the deal. Let me tell you about what it is. Okay. So the city of Alexandria's a major development is the Reignite initiative, focused on revitalization of the Masonic Drive corridor and new retail recreation, Bringhurst Park, revamped sports court, workforce housing, in partnership with LSUA for healthcare. That's what it said.
Okay.
And it's aiming for an $80 million investment to boost quality of life and economic opportunity without new taxes. Other ongoing efforts include infrastructure projects, school upgrades, District 62, and a broader master plan for downtown rejuvenation. So Bringhurst Park and recreation, $9.5 million for multi-purpose facility and restoration. Masonic Court Sports, $1 million for handball, pickleball, and tennis courts. Workforce housing, development of townhomes. Retail and development, attracting new shopping and commercial opportunities. LSUA partnership, joint funding for an allied health services center. And they're planning on spending an estimated $82 million in total investment. You got to remember, Spark was $96 million. Funded by municipal bonds, capital outlay, and state and federal matching funds. Now, District 62 school improvements, recent groundbreakings for track resurfacing, Peabody playground upgrades and security enhancements, comprehensive master plan, focus on downtown renewal with pedestrian-friendly spaces, cafes, and civic features, City Project Portal, a public online tool to track the infrastructure, parks, and other city-led projects.
That's a lot.
But nothing about the infrastructure in districts 2 and 3 where brown water, open ditches, and
this is about Masonic Drive corridor.
Wow.
Well, Mr. McCall, let me tell
you know what? Pickleball. How many of us play pickleball?
That's what I said. I said the same thing.
I don't even know what pickleball is. When they say pickleball, I thought they meant pickleball. I thought they meant pickleball up on the street. They got pickleball. What the hell is a pickleball? Well, Mr. McCall, that money's going to Bowdoin High School.
They say Peabody, not Bowdoin, sir.
Ms. McCall, that money is going to Bowdoin High School.
They just said recent groundbreakings for track and resurfacing at Peabody playground upgrades and security enhancements.
But listen, that's school board. That's not the city.
Exactly.
School board.
I got you.
And check this out, Mr. McCall. Bolton Street is more closer to Masonic than Peabody is. So what the hell Peabody got to do with it anyway? Because you know why? They use Peabody to play on the black people.
Right.
Because guess what? It probably said it could be used for, but not limited to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But look, remember when they were doing the artificial turf at Johnny Downs? Remember they threw out that they were going to do artificial turf at the baseball stadium right across from Peabody?
Peabody? Exactly, Mr. Porter.
Did it ever get artificial turf?
I don't think so.
I don't think it did either. I haven't been following that closely, but guess what? They didn't get that. But
you remember the
same thing here.
You remember Cynthia Perry asked for some of that $76,000 for the lights?
Yeah, right.
And when Jack, no, Cynthia, we can't. No, don't. That ain't Cynthia. That ain't for that.
Yep, he sure did. He said that.
And she asked for new playground equipment at the park in District 3.
Yep. Yep.
See, that's what get us in trouble. We don't forget.
But our people do.
Yeah, our people do. Exactly. Our people do. Now I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a video, Mr. Porter. I'm gonna send you this is a 2-minute video. I'm gonna send it to you. Look, I think remember when he was talking about it, he said he took off. Didn't he say he took off the tennis courts?
Yes, ma'am.
Or he said that because this last city council meeting, they approved $888,000 for the tennis courts on Masonic Drive.
But I think he said he took them off though.
I thought he said he took them off when he talked about this Reignite project. I thought he said he took it off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think he did. Mr. Porter.
Okay, well, they approved the 8. That was the one they had to come back and say, we made a typo. We had 811,000 and it's actually 888,000.
And I think that's when he said he took it off. I think so.
Oh, I missed that.
I think so.
I will have to go back and listen to that because that's at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, they took something off. And I think it was the tennis court.
Okay.
But guess what though? It's going to be heavily patrolled. Wait a minute. Wait. So you mean tell me the tennis court and all that could be heavily patrolled? But and you still got people dying in District 1? Do you see that? That don't make no sense. See how it don't make no sense?
And you had 3 shootings on Mason Street.
Yup.
Last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were still drinking brown water.
Yeah. And we still got flooding because we got open.
Still got flooding.
Yeah.
You see? So I don't know what the people don't understand. I don't understand why the people ain't raising no hell. But if they don't know how to raise hell, some of us still look at these movies and think we still live in those days.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna mess with them white folk, man. Let them white folk just do what they gotta do, man. I ain't gonna raise no hell. I'm just gonna let God fight my battles. Joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. You let the Lord handle that. Okay. Yeah, I'm finna go, bro. I don't feel like talking no more. It's and they don't even understand, man. You are human beings. You're not 3/5 of a man anymore. You're not 3/5 of a human. They still thinking they still act like we 3/5 of a human.
Yeah.
To them people. But if somebody step on them damn Michael Jordan tennis shoes, or somebody pull the damn weave out somebody's head, they will kill and die behind that stuff right there.
Right. That's right.
It don't make any sense.
They will kill and die behind some material stuff that's being made for $6 a piece overseas.
Right.
Man, these my Michael Jordan tennis shoes, man. You step on my shoe, man. You better say, "Excuse me, we're gonna fight." What? You drinking brown water? You ain't fighting about that? Oh man, we fighting about the wrong thing, player. I'm sorry for stepping on your shoe. Man, you disrespecting me. We finna fight. They disrespect you when they give you that $1,200 light bill.
Yeah.
And when you don't pay it, they go up there and cut your lights off in 105-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't call that disrespect?
Yeah.
Oh, player, you got it all wrong, player. You see, so I mean, Lord, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
It's like you can't win for losing. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to help them get better, but still they taking and throwing the medicine away. You know what I'm saying?
My dad used to tell me, boy, every time I holler, I lose my voice. I didn't understand what he talking about this. Mm-hmm. But I understand now. Every time I holler, someone, I lose my voice. God damn. And that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
The more you fight.
I just think that some of them are listening, but they don't want to admit that they're listening. Can I say that? You know, they're paying attention, but they don't want to say, "Hey, yeah, we heard what y'all said." You know.
Yeah. Just like the Playboy book and Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the Playboy book and Daddy and in the bathroom with Daddy behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just like the Playboy book. Exactly. I want to look at it, but I don't want nobody else to know I'm looking at it, so I gotta hide.
You gotta hide. Exactly. You're right.
I gotta hide it. Because Miss McCall, I know at least 3 women, Miss McCall, that call me. And when their sons made the age to vote, they registered them right then. And they called me, "Hey, Nat, I'm taking my sons up to the register to vote." If their sons are in college when it come down to voting, Miss McCall, they go get them boys. Because they don't trust the mail-in ballots.
But they're going to try
to get them.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, you're right. Because they're going to try to take mail-in ballots away from us. Watch. That's going to be something else.
That lady already said, Nat, I don't trust the mail-in ballots. My son, he just goes, the school ain't number about 150 miles, 100 miles away from there. I'll go get them. They'll get them, especially early voting, so you can get them on the weekend.
Yeah.
And they'll bring them kids home and they'll vote. So some people listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Some people listening. But boy, they can't let nobody know they listen. I can't let nobody know. Yeah, I can't do that.
Look, if the mail-in ballots weren't actually being tabulated, Donald Trump would not be trying to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because once Black folks recognize that I don't have to actually go to the polls, if I meet any one of these 11, 12 criteria, I can get a ballot mailed to my house. I fill it out, get somebody to witness my signature, send it back in. And if it's not tabulated, I'll get a notice, a text alert that it has not been tabulated. I could either go up there and correct it or make my way to the polls during early voting or during the actual election day, so you'll have 3 overall chances. But
now, Mr. Porter, didn't they switch up on the criteria?
Well, what happened was Jeff Landry, the governor, he put stringent restrictions on who could assist with mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't bring in more than 3 ballots to the voters' registration office. I can't assist people with ballots, and I can't assist people with voter registration. They put a lot of restrictions on that, but we still have
they did
the ballots. Yeah.
You know what they did? Just like the slave days. You can't teach a nigga how to read now. What you trying to do? Come here, Mr. Porter. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. What you doing? Come here, girl. What you doing? Your daughter told you not to do that.
I already gave you 20 lashes last time.
Yeah.
You didn't learn your lesson. I thought you don't teach them how to read, write, and calculate. Don't do that.
Don't do that. You don't have a right to that.
What you trying to do now?
Yeah.
Trying to have an uprising? I know you're not trying to have an uprising now, are you? Yeah, I mean, it's so slave mentality, like for the intelligence. You know, like this here, Mr. Porter. I don't know if you see where they gave Matt Johnson the award.
I
Y'all see that?
saw when you posted that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mr. McCall, they gave him an award
Yeah.
for doing what he. Come on, you don't think Jack Roy had nothing to do with that?
Yeah. I
Good
do.
job, man. We're going to recognize you. And that's what they're doing. Just like they do the slave. They look, you caught them. Good job. Here, take this half a pig right there. Take this home. I mean, it's like, man, come on. Man. They playing in your face, and they don't want you to think that they playing in your face.
Right.
But in order for them to make sure that you don't think they playing in your face, they send one of the black bulldogs. Say, "Oh no, he's not doing that. No, he's a good man. He's a good man. She's a good white woman." So it's boy, I tell you. Well,
So he gets the reward for being a citizen and working at the planning commission, basically.
Yes, ma'am. Timing is everything, Mr. McCall.
Yeah.
Timing is everything, and that's what it seemed like to me. He got it after the thing got passed.
He said he got several different businesses and he employs over 100 people.
Who?
What, privately, or you talking about at Rapides Area Planning Commission?
No. He talking privately, him and his wife.
Well, why in the hell he scared to lose his job then?
Didn't you see that on his what's the name?
Yeah, but why he scared to lose his job?
I don't know.
Well,
see, Mr. McCall, I drive trucks.
He makes over $100,000.
Yeah, he sure does.
At that job. And of course he got medical and retirement.
Yep.
So with his little businesses, he's probably not out there paying for medical and stuff for his family, you know?
I wonder, is he hiring illegals? Is he hiring illegals?
What kind of businesses he has?
It doesn't say. Hold up. Let's go back to.
See,
he didn't say.
Might be Yankee Clipping. I don't know.
Huh? He might what?
Be Yankee Clipping.
Yeah, might be Yankee Clipping. Mr. McCall, if you could hire over 100 people, Mr. McCall, man, I ain't worried about losing nothing. What you say? Do what job? Man, hell, what job going? Yeah, that's a lot of people, Mr. Porter.
Is he running a farm, like a crawfish farm, or
Lord Jesus,
a nursery, or
is it labor? Thank you, Mr. Porter. Thank you.
A lot of people working.
Thank you. That's a lot of people, Mr. McCall. In order to have a lot of people, you got to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you know, business in the industry of making money, they don't want to really pay nobody a whole lot of money. So, who's he hiring? See that? See?
Can you imagine matching 7.5% of their salary, sending that to FICA for 100?
Yeah.
You see, somebody's making some money somewhere, unless he got, hey senor, we through. Yeah, hey senor. If he got hey senor then working for him, he probably ain't paying him nothing.
He said he employs 100 people. Y'all, you didn't see that when you read that?
I seen it, but I didn't believe it.
I didn't see it. I skipped right over that.
Oh, okay.
If I employed 100 people, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me a damn thing about work.
I know.
Dude, what?
Crazy.
Because that's like a corporation. Some corporations don't have 100 people.
No, that's considered a large business.
Yeah.
That's considered a large business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm making that kind of money, man, do what, Jaguar? Man, kiss my ass. I ain't doing nothing. When you fired, so what? I'm finna tell everything now. I'm finna tell it all. What I got to lose? And then I'm gonna get you on the Whistleblowers Act too. Think about it. I'm protected by the Whistleblowers Act.
That's why, because these white folks, they know all of this, right? If he wanted to resist Jack Roy and then he ended up being fired, he would have launched a suit for wrongful termination against the police jury and brought all that stuff into bear and he
Mhm.
probably
Thank
would have won that suit.
Sure would.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
in
look,
the
look what they
actual
doing, y'all.
court, then they would have
Yeah.
had him offer his job back too, you know?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't want to take it to the hostile work environment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't get hard at nighttime. I'm scared. Oh boy,
All right. That's right.
see, it's tricky. So do you really have 100 employees?
Okay, so it
I'm
says
talking.
here. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is part of the little thing that they did. It says, and Sinloa is truly home for the Johns family. Matt and his wife are raising 5 children here, and together they've started half a dozen of local businesses that now employ nearly 100 people. He believes deeply in the future of Central Louisiana and often says he loves how our region offers big city amenities while still keeping a small town community driven feel. Y'all pay attention to when they say that. That's saying a lot. Okay?
So,
That small town mindset,
Mm-hmm.
that's letting you, that's that 50s and 60s mindset.
mhm.
Yeah.
You know how I interpret that?
Go ahead.
That's not his and his wife businesses. That's businesses they help somebody start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Now I know they have a daycare. I do know they have a daycare.
Okay.
Um
That ain't
yeah.
100 people. That ain't close to 100 people. We're gonna say 10 at the most.
He said 6. Now he said a half a dozen businesses.
Okay.
So
Okay, we talking about daycare.
but
He
one
don't
of them
own all the daycares around here.
no, I'm just saying I think that's one of the businesses that I was told that he owns. I don't know if he still does it or not, but I do know he had a daycare.
Okay. So that's one daycare. Say we got 10 people work there. We still need 90 more people to be in to count.
Okay, so you split the rest of them up in the you're so crazy. In the rest, the 5 of the other businesses.
We need 90 more people, Mr. McCall.
Okay, so you have to split them up between the 5 other businesses.
They probably hiding because ice in Alexandria.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just reading what he said.
I don't believe it because that's a lot of money you got to pay for, like you say, unemployment insurance.
But
If they legal, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
If they're legal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot you got to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And if you could afford, I don't know no man that own that got 100 employees and still working, Mr. McCall. I know a man had 100 employees and he'll check in on his job every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't work too hard. He didn't work for nobody else. He worked when he came in. He was working on his own trucks.
But Greta have you working your job and somebody else's job.
Look,
So agree to make you do it.
Did they mention what his wife's name is? I'm on the Secretary of State website, and I don't see nothing with Matt John on it.
I don't know what his wife's name is.
Now they got a Matt Johns, Alexandria. It's the Louisiana Planning Council, but that's the only one.
Yeah.
So it must be under his wife's name.
Probably is. But I don't know what her name is.
Now there's one in Richmond, Louisiana, called Cajun Relief Foundation.
Okay.
Where is Richmond?
Up there by Monroe.
Okay.
But you know somebody who knows, right? We both know somebody who knows, right?
Who's that?
Yeah, we know. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
We don't show. We know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that one's inactive. That one's inactive. So yeah. So Matt
That was in the war to keep his
3 Johnson Street, Alexandria, Louisiana. But it's been inactive since 2021. So they have to be under his wife's name.
Well. If I had 100 employees, boy, in the way, boy, truck. Do what? Do truck? Oh no, man, crazy. I'm not. No, I don't understand that, Mr. Carl.
But okay, so on average, the poverty line is what, 21,000 annually, or is it? What's the poverty?
It was recently increased because of inflation.
Gotcha.
So for a family of 4, I think it's now like 30,000.
Okay, yeah, okay. I had that number in my head.
I'm just going off something I read briefly. You might have to double check me on that.
But actually, you'd be surprised, Mr. Porter. That's the number I had in my head.
Okay.
Before I said 13, that was the number. That's weird.
And you know, Mr. McCall, ain't too many companies around here paying $30,000 in Alexandria.
No.
I get you.
That's the cold part about it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So
that's why.
Go ahead.
That's why I won't come home. Man, no. Shit. What? They had a company told me that I'm gonna make $45,000 a year. You know what the man told me? That's good money for around here. I said, what?
Yeah, he's right. Okay, what? For one person is 15,000. For family of 4 is 32,150.
Okay. All right.
Now, okay. So on average, they could be making 15,000, right? Without family. Annually.
15,000 times 100 is what, Mr. McCall?
That's over $1 million.
So if you paying that much money, how much money are you making?
That's true.
Thank you.
What's the return on the investment?
Yeah. So why in the hell I gotta listen to Jock Clark? I'm whistleblowing. Everything going up in smoke. Everything going up in smoke. And I got lawyers to fight the case.
I'm telling everything. Hell.
Yeah. So that right there. And that see, Mr. McCall, once you have poor education and unlivable wage, you create an environment to where people are just walking dead. They can't enjoy life because they're working too hard to try to live. That's a horrible way of living. So I'm just called 45,000. You just think about this here, 45,000. That's good money around here. We ain't saying nothing about taxes. You see what I'm saying? So that ain't 45,000 right there.
Exactly.
So what I'm looking at might be about 37. Or you ever take what 12-13%? We'll say 37. Now, if I want to live in a decent neighborhood, I got to pay at least what $1,100. Look, that's gone. And you see what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about car insurance.
Nope.
We're not talking about light bill.
Nope.
See, so it's like no. Man, when you getting off the road, when everything paid off, and guess what? I still ain't coming.
And I'm still not coming in here.
No, because I ain't gonna be able to live like I want to live.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not being greedy, Mr. McCall. It's just being a man. I want to go on vacation and don't have to worry about nothing when I go on vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, I don't want to go back and hope the light's on when I get back home. No, man, I can't do that. No, I ain't doing that. And you know, he's up in a nigga. Well, call it what you want to call it. But I just, and that's what we got to explain to our kids. You don't have to settle for nothing. I had a friend that taught me a valuable lesson. She was a nurse, and they told her about they was haggling about how much they wanted to pay her an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And by her being a nurse, she already had a job. She told that man, the law is you can't pay me no less than $7.25 an hour. Just say that's the law. Now you can pay me anything you want to, but the law is you can't pay me no less than that. You know, so he wanted to pay her like $20 an hour. She wasn't taking it. Oh no, you got to give me 30. We can't do that. Okay, no problem. You know, but when she told me that, she said, "Hey man, you discuss what you gonna make. You don't let them tell you what you gonna make." Yeah, and hey, the law is you can't pay me no less than. You can pay me anything you want to pay me, but you can't pay me no less than. That's stuck in my head. That's still stuck in my head. No, we ain't doing that. So when I come home, hey, this what I want. Well, we can't pay you that. Oh, okay, no problem. You know, so yeah. But guys, y'all take it easy. Mr. McCall, it's after 12 o'clock. Mr. McCall.
Yeah, it is after 12. I'm sorry, y'all. But this was a very good, informative show. So most likely, Mr. Porter, are you going to go to the meeting? Are you going to
go? The 8 and 9. I'm going to try to.
Okay.
But I tell you what, tomorrow I'm going to try and write up a comment and send it to them.
I got you. I knew you did.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to give I'm going to give Malcolm and Jules and Cynthia a call tomorrow.
Okay.
And see what their strategy is, and suggest that they might consider, conducting a town hall meeting on their own, and it being able to explain the other side.
And the ideal that taking this whole situation serious, because to me, this is very serious, because when it comes to voting and getting things done in their districts, this is going to affect it. And this is why the people need to understand how important it is. And from this day forward, this is affecting everybody. And if you look at it from the nationwide standpoint, people understand that it's going to affect how they vote, where that money, federal dollars are going. They're paying attention to that. And that's what they need to do here in Alexandria.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then if we don't stop them here, what's their next move?
Yeah,
we already saw it. They went to the state legislature. I don't care what the charter says. They went to the Louisiana Bond Commission. I don't care what the charter says.
Yep.
I'm going to redistrict. I don't care what the charter says.
Yep.
But what's the next major move? So where do we draw the line? Where do we mount our resistance?
That's right. That's what you got to keep in mind. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I want to say thank you so much, Mr. 10. Mr. 10. Mr. 10 probably went to sleep on us, knowing him. But this was a great show. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you, Mr. Porter, for stopping in and giving us all that knowledge. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Thank you, Miss Dixon. Thank you, Miss Battle. Who else was over there? Because I can't see it on this. What's there? I know the whole crew. I'm just going to say thank you to all the crew that came in and listened and commented. Thank you guys. You guys keep this show floating. And you guys have a safe weekend. We will be back Monday. We're going to have to do a show Monday. We definitely have to do a show Monday and Tuesday for sure. Okay. Because I can imagine what he's going to say. So you guys have a great evening. Have a great night. Well, good morning now, because it's after 12 now. You guys have a great Saturday and Sunday. And we should be back here Monday. Okay.
Okay, folks.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good night.
Good night.